To put up a wager. The housekeeper reverently replied. The Lord is resting. I've already sent someone to inform His Highness' arrival. Grandpa. As soon as Mu Ruyan saw the second elder, a beautiful smile appeared on her face. The second elder wiped his tears. Yenner, I had let you suffer. Your grandpa is really useless. Grandpa. A languid voice came which interrupted them. Isn't it too early in the morning? Why did you wake me up? Is there an urgent matter? This time, the voice of Mu Ruyan turned weak like a mosquito. Sheer, I. Mu Qian impatiently said. Mu Ruyan, do you take my words for a fool? Did it just pass, said through your ears? I ordered you to never appear before this lord again, yet you dare to come back on my own place. In the face of such an incomprehensible and domineering woman like Mu Qianxi, Xianyuan Shang couldn't keep his facade any longer. He shouted in indignation. Mu Qianxi. It is this prince who sent Mu Ruyan over. How dare you bully her in front of me? Mu Qian looked at Xianyuan Shang for a second and said. Even if you are a prince, this is Mu Jia and I have the final say. Don't let this people inside. Keep them away from my gates. Mu Qian didn't give him a face. Xianyuan Shang flies in rage and said. Mu Qianxi, you impudent. Yenner is my princess consort. If she wants to go home and you dare push her away, it is the same as defying this prince's order. The crown prince released his statement. The great elder's face revealed a color of ecstasy. If Mu Ruyan ended up as the crown princess, there is no need to be afraid of Mu Qianxi any longer. Your Highness. Mu Ruyan stomped her feet. Her face beat red as a cherry and her eyes continued to follow Xianyuan Shang. Mu Qian evoked a taunting smile, she said. Your Highness, please go home. I removed Mu Ruyan's name on the clan list. Would you like to see our clan list for authenticity? Mu Qianxi, are you jealous of the way Yenner has been living? You're so vicious. Xianyuan Shang's eyes are burning. Mu Qian raised a brow and said. This is none of your business, also we can ask for Yu Zhe to testify if what I said isn't true or not. Sheer, I didn't, I was raised in Mu Jia, even if I die I will never leave. For sure, there must be some kind of mistake. Mu Ruyan was so pale that it seemed she could collapse at any moment now. Yenner. My poor granddaughter. The second elder was so affectionate and wept for Mu Ruyan's condition. Yu Zhe is one of your subordinates. How could I believe his words? You have nothing but money. Do you think if it wasn't for her grandpa, Yenner would go back to this place? Xianyuan Shang angrily said. Mu Qian waved her hand and said. Since that is the case, then please your highness the crown prince. Take your future princess consort out of my home. Impertinent. What's wrong with being presumptuous? I am the lord of this place. What can a merely prince like you do to me? Mu Qian proudly said. At the same time, Xianyuan Shang finally realized his father emperor and little brother's feelings. Mu Qianxi was so arrogant that people simply wanted to strangle her to death. Unfortunately, her backer, Mu Wushuang, has a ruthless character. He wanted to make a move but he can't. Xianyuan Shang is worthy to be the crown prince. In just a short moment he collected himself and asked in a calm manner. Mu Qianxi, tell this prince what is it you want? Yenner only wanted to go home, she won't rob you of anything. Why don't you just let her go? No way. This lord is already sick just by looking at her. Mu Qian innocently said. Mu Qian is like oil and can't be mixed with water. Everything Xianyuan Shang says would immediately be countered by one of her excuses. He clenched his fist and finally lost it. He said. Mu Qianxi, how about a bet? Do you dare to fight with this prince once? Bet? How exactly are we betting? Mu Qian asked. Let's fight in Jin Wutang. I'm sure you're quite confident with your strength. Xianyuan Li Shang provoked. Mu Qian asked. You said bet, so if you win, you want me to accept Mu Rian back, is that it? Yes, that is this prince's only condition. Xianyuan Li Shang nodded. Mu Qian continued to banter with the crown prince. Oh. For a beauty you're willing to fight. But this lord's afraid that even if I win, your palace cannot meet my conditions. Ah. What to do? Don't underestimate my palace. I'm a crown prince, are you doubting my ability? Suddenly, Mu Qian's gaze landed on the person behind Xianyuan Li Shang, she said. Calm your ti. I mean calm yourself. Since you said earlier that Mu Rian is your princess consort. My request is very simple, if I win, the crown prince must return the funds Mu Rian consumed from these past 18 years from my household. Tn LOLMQX. If you don't know the word she was about to say, shame on you. Shame on your family too. Ha! Xianyuan Li Shang straightforwardly said. And here I was, thinking that it would be such a difficult thing. Mu Jia had raised such a good princess for this prince. Naturally, I would pay the expenses she gathered from birth. If I win, I will still pay you. Just think of it as a dowry for Yenner. Crown Prince. Mu Rian was so moved, her pair of soft eyes looked at Xianyuan Li Shang filled with adoration. Xianyuan Li Shang knew that if he helped Mu Rian, she would finally let her beautiful self fall in love with him. Your Highness, Crown Prince this. You should know. Great Elder looked worriedly at the Crown Prince but he can't speak up. Over the past 18 years, the elders poured so many resources towards Mu Rian's cultivation. After all, if the person who ranks second in the Purple Moon Kingdom's list of geniuses isn't well trained, that person would be left behind with someone who has real talent. Compared to the Crown Prince's resources, Mu Rian spent 10 times more than he does. Great Elder, what's wrong? Xianyuan Li Shang asked. Crown Prince, please be merciful. Don't hurt our lord. She may be a little overbearing but she's not a bad person either. Great Elder showed a constrained smile. No matter how terrifying the sum of money was, they are still strangers. If the Crown Prince lost, he would be the only one to pay it all. Moreover, the Crown Prince is the #1 genius in the Purple Moon Kingdom. How could he possibly lose to Mu Qianxi? Also, it's better if the Crown Prince crippled Mu Qian completely. It saves them both time and effort. Xianyuan Li Shang nodded. Rest assured. I will try not to hurt her seriously. Besides, she's the lord of your clan, her ident. Tai is blee. Mu Qian rolled her eyes with these people. The elders of this clan truly has talent when it comes to acting. She said straight to the point. Since the Crown Prince proposed the fight, just tell me when. Tomorrow afternoon at Jinwatang. I'll see you there. What do you think? The sooner the better. He was afraid that Mu Qian might change her mind later. Sure, tomorrow afternoon, I'll be there. Mu Qian smiled. What Xianyuan Li Shang didn't know is that Mu Qian is thinking the same as him. If he came to know the amount of money Mu Rian owed from Mu Qian's family, he would surely back out. Then, Mu Qian wouldn't recover her money by then. In that case, Yenner should be able to stay here for today. Xianyuan Li Shang felt that he had won already. That Mu Qian is really smart. Another idiot prince would lose a lot of money because of a white lotus. Nyaha. The #1 genius. Mu Qian coldly said. Crown Prince, I feel that you have a lot to say for yourself. Bring back that concubine of yours from where you got her in the first place. If you win tomorrow, that's the only time you can send her over. You hear me? Sheer, please don't be mad. I will leave with the crown prince today. For tomorrow's match, I will surely cheer for you. Mu Ruiyan pretended to be strong in front of Mu Qianxi. The beauty went back with him. Xianyuan Li Shang was proud of himself. This is exactly the right moment where he can prove his feelings towards Mu Ruiyan. Just like that, the crown prince went back to his palace together with Mu Ruiyan. When Xianyuan Li Tian heard the news concerning his elder brother, his right eye has been jumping from then on. He got this feeling that something bad is going to happen. Come. You may go on inside. Following the wonderful battle against Yuzhe, the seventh genius, Jinwading became a great place for formal matches thereafter. The whole Purple Moon is BRIMMING with excitement. The tickets for the upcoming match were rising. Tisk, TSK. Lord Mu is getting more powerful. He defeated the seventh genius, Yuzhe first, then Ouyang Wei, who is ranked fourth. But now, she unexpectedly has to fight the number one genius, His Highness, the Crown Prince. I heard from someone that they both have elemental affinities. One has the water element while the other one has wind. This is surely a good show to watch. Yu Su said. Brother, why are you so sure that your leader would win? You better not lie to me or else. I already bet all of my possessions for her, so she must win no matter what. What nonsense are you spouting? Jinwatang pleaded leader to limit her bets to 3 million gold taels. Your 2002 silver taels aren't even enough for 1% of hers. Tell me, should I feel sorry for you? Yuzhe faintly smiled. Yu Su clenched his fist and shouted. Fine. I was wrong. Kaya. The crown prince is on stage. A nymphomaniac screamed, letting other people to look down on the stage. Xianyuan Li Shang's outfit for today is white. He doesn't look calm and collected just like before, but he certainly looks capable and good at martial arts now. His black hair gently sways against the wind while his handsome face bears no fear or anxiety. If Mu Wushuang didn't exist, Xianyuan Li Shang would probably be the strongest man in the Purple Moon Kingdom in the future. In a while, a purple figure slowly walked towards the stage. With her excellent posture, her every step looks like there was a flower that would sprout at any moment. Whether appearance or mannerism, she is clearly above one level than the crown prince. The crowd was shocked. Mu Qianxi is worthy enough to be the lord of her clan. So domineering. In Xianyuan Li Shang's eyes a flash of dim light shone, he said. Mu Qianxi, because the both of us have a special ident. Tai. In order to avoid feud between our families once one of us were accidentally harmed, I prepared a contract already. How about we sign it first? Having a contract before a fight isn't common in the Purple Moon Kingdom. Once signed, the law of the heaven and earth will be counterbalanced. It seems that the royal family prepared themselves before this to deal with her. On the other hand, Mu Qian let out a smile, yet not a smile. Sign. Sure, no problem. I also have a contract here that needs your signature. Her contract states that if Xianyuan Li Shang won today, Mu Qian would let Mu Ruiyan to return in the Mu Jia and acknowledge her as her official sister. If Mu Qian won, Xianyuan Li Shang would return all the resources Mu Ruiyan consumed in the past 18 years. He was satisfied with the contents of the deed. Because the royal family's contract is limited, he can only prioritize Mu Ruiyan's wish first. This is also what Mu Qian intended to do. Xianyuan Li Shang nodded. I have no qualms either. 2 contracts, 2 people each signed their own name, thus the contracts were established. A blood-boiling match is about to begin. The referee raised his hand and shouted. This official match starts. Mu Qianxi, watch out. At the exact moment the referee's words have fallen, Xianyuan Lishang rushed forth towards Mu Qianxi. Yesterday, he was called by his father emperor to give him some pointers. The emperor emphasized that he mustn't waste time and beat Mu Qianxi as soon as possible. Exclamation point. Xianyuan shouted. In a while countless afterimages of Xianyuan Lishang appeared. The crowd exclaimed. Is this the power of the wind element? He's fast. The peak of 9th stage spirit warrior. Crown Prince is truly the #1 genius. The wind element is so powerful that it couldn't be compared with Ouyang Wei's strength at all. Mu Qian hastily dodged Xianyuan Lishang's attack. Her body flashed and retreated a dozen steps. Xianyuan Lishang made another preemptive strike, in hope that it can prevent Mu Qian from using her elemental power. Water charge. In contrast to his expectations, Mu Qian wasn't a meek rabbit. A large blue water dragon appeared from the void and rushed towards Xianyuan Lishang's direction. Boom! When the blue water dragon and Xianyuan Lishang's sword clashed together, a loud explosion happened. Someone in the crowd exclaimed. OGOD! Mu Qian reached the 8th stage spirit warrior already. Her cultivation speed is scary. It doesn't matter. Did you forget? The Crown Prince's strength is still higher, and even though each of them has an element, the Crown Prince is at the peak of the 9th stage. Mu Qian clearly doesn't stand a chance. Yu Su, who's like a deer in the headlights, spoke. Brother, is your leader some kind of an aberrant being? If I remember correctly, she was just at the 6th stage last month, you know. In just a month, she successfully break through up to 2 stages. How could someone possibly accept such reality? Yu Zai's eyes flashed a light. Leader had break through the 8th stage, it seems I have to practice harder. Yu Su trembled by his brother's aura. Don't tell me you're gonna break through soon. Yu Zai nodded. I've reached the peak of 7th stage. I feel that I'm going to break through soon. Yu Su grabbed his older brother's hand and said. Brother. Go ask Mu Qianxi if she needs another little brother. The cultivation of the both of you is making me jealous. Let me in too, please. I think leader is not in need of another brother. Besides, if it's someone like you, I'm sure she wouldn't even spare you a glance. Yu Zai showed no mercy, he instantly shattered Yu Su's fragile heart. Clang! 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 While the two brothers are chatting, Mu Qian has been dodging Xianyuan Lishang's attacks longer than the crowd's expectations. The wind element against water element is no doubt an unparalleled showdown, dazzling everyone's eyes. What shocked them the most was, even if Mu Qian's strength is lower, she isn't staggering at all. They can even say at this point that the two of them are evenly matched. Xianyuan Lishang knew that he can't go on like this. Unlike Mu Qian, who can easily eat a 3rd-grade medicinal pill to restore her, he on the other hand, can only depend on his own. He must finish this quickly or he will be the one losing in the end. Xianyuan Lishang shouted. Whirlwind. Numerous wind forces gathered up in circles and formed a twister in the air, sweeping everything towards Mu Qian's way. At the same time, Mu Qian pushed all of her spiritual force out. Water Dragon. A huge water-blue dragon leaps into the sky and made an explosive move, turning itself into a huge tornado comprised of water. This move. It's the same with His Highness. Look. This is a completely improved version. This. Xianyuan Lishang widened his eyes in disbelief. No one other than him knew how his skill works, that is exactly a replica of his whirlwind. Woo! MQX rocks. I'm also getting used on using my phone for translations for days now. Yay! Gonna post the first chapter of TDCM in a while. Hope some of you will read it too. Genius in a way. Boom! Two violent forces slammed into each other. At the same time, Mu Qian rushed out. Apparently, she had prepared enough medicinal pellets for qi recovery than Xianyuan Li Shang. While Xianyuan was still in a daze, Mu Qian casts another spell. Fall and bloom. Flower rain. The water on the ground once again condensed in the air, forming into sharp arrows. Whoosh! Countless arrows lining up in the air advanced to Xianyuan Li Shang's direction. The arrows continue to fall like rain, even if Xianyuan Li Shang tries to resist. Without certain amount of qi, his last line of defense broke. Arg! Few arrows. Hit Xianyuan Li Shang's body. His face was so pale due to the heavy wounds he suffered. Water charge. Mu Qian continued to release another batch of spells, making Xianyuan Li Shang unable to act. The whole crowd was stunned. Someone muttered. How can she still go on? Xianyuan Li Shang's body was pushed into the edge of the stage where it could collapse at any moment. Cough. 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 Xianyuan Li Shang was pale as a paper as he coughed up blood. Mu Qian said. Crown price, you lost. There was uproar. The scene in the crowd suddenly became chaotic. I can't believe this. The crown prince actually lost. I've placed all my fortune to him, arg. What do I do now? What kind of aberrant being is she? How in the world did she manage to defeat someone with a higher strength than her? At this time, someone shouted. His Highness didn't lose. Look! The crown prince who is seriously injured suddenly unleashed a great deal of power. The first stage spirit master. The crown prince made a breakthrough. How could the crown prince lose? Mu Qian Shi, it's too early to celebrate. Haha. Xianyuan Li Shang casts a glare towards Mu Qian's direction. His handsome face showed a hideous look. Xianyuan Li Shang felt that not only did he break through to Spirit Master but also would reach the second stage soon. This is naturally not a breakthrough but a result of consuming a forbidden drug. The drug's effect differs from people to people. This isn't the same with Ouyang Shilong's case where it could easily be dealt. Suddenly, their role had reversed. Xianyuan, who was suppressed by Mu Qian earlier, made a move. Dance. Wind Emperor. This move is 3 to 4 times stronger than Whirlwind. The immense pressure coming from it terrified the crowd. They were all nervous. They couldn't even imagine what Mu Qian would do in this critical situation. She can't block it with her water dragon because the gap on their strength is too big. They all assumed that Mu Qian would be seriously injured after this. Surprisingly, Mu Qian only motionless stood there. Isn't she scared? Leader. Yu Zai's face turned white and the porcelain cup in his hand is crushed. Sheer. A familiar voice came out in a hurry. Her soft voice is akin to a fairy. Tien, why you gotta be so fake? As the whirlwind was about to reach Mu Qian's side, she hastily made a water shield around her to protect herself. Sounds of clothes tearing filled the arena. Mu Qian's whole sleeve was ripped open. Her snow-white skin is now filled with various scratches and bloody marks. In the next moment, Mu Qian's figure moved like a ghost. She found a gap inside the vortex and quickly rushes out. Baby, I leave it all to you. Mu Qian laughed, and then she threw away the poisoned needle in her hand towards Xianyuan Li Shang. Xianyuan Li Shang felt a murderous intent. In a flash, his eyes caught a fine needle aiming at his head. He coldly said, Mu Qianxi, does this mean you feel cornered by me already? to even resort using a concealed weapon to attack this prince. Aeolus. A gust of wind tried to block Mu Qian's poison needle. However, the fine needle unexpectedly shrinks and its speed doubled. By the time Xianyuan Shang saw its changes, the needle already ked into his skin. No. Arg. No matter what he does, the needle did not leave his body. All of a sudden, Xianyuan Shang's whole body was paralyzed. Xianyuan Shang then fell flat on his face and skinned his nose. Mu Qian walked slowly towards the Crown Prince and said, "Crown Prince, this time, it's truly you who lost." Xianyuan Shang countered. "Mu Qian Shi, how dare you break the rules? You clearly poisoned me." "Oh. But aren't you forgetting something? You consumed a forbidden drug earlier, didn't you? Why don't we let the staff of the Jinwatang check you, see if it's me or you that would be exposed first?" Mu Qian is sure that even the greatest alchemist in the Purple Moon Kingdom can't detect her poison. You. Cough. Xianyuan Shang, who was so angry, vomited a mouthful of blood. He wanted to say something but his body given up and he fainted immediately. Mu Qian said to the crowd, "The Crown Prince's body is so weak. He fainted right away with just coughing up blood." A deep blue figure jumped down the stage, quickly took off his robe to cover Mu Qian's arm. Tian Aia. As a person who lived in the 21st century, Mu Qian is okay to show her arms and legs. However, she can't say no to Yuzei's compa. Shaun either. "Crown Prince, although you've set out, our contract is still in place. Even if you try to deny it later, I won't let you off. Yuzei, inform His Highness, the Crown Prince, of his debts." Mu Qian waved her hand. Yuzei's mouth is twitching. Ever since he became her subordinate, reading lists of someone's debts became a common thing for him. In addition to Mu Qian's clan, her strength alone makes it hard for those who have debts to run away, making the collection easier. Yuzei took out a scroll of paper and read each word out loud. The granddaughter of the second elder, Mu Ruyan, from birth have used third-grade medicinal pellet every month to build her foundation. From early birth to her 18th birthday, the immortality elixirs she have used amounts to half of the clan's treasury. Yuzei cleared his throat and said, "Amounting to a total of 10 million gold taels. Crown Prince, Your Highness, must pay this off within a month. Else, we will add an interest of 10,000 every following day." "Leader, I'm done reading, we should go back now." Yuzei was resolute on this matter. Although Mu Qian used healing elixirs, the fresh wounds on her body needs to be dealt first. That's also the reason Yuzei summarized the list he read a moment ago. The two figures disappeared, leaving everyone in uproar. Wow! It turns out that Miss Ruyan used a lot of the Mu Jia's money. Haha, that's hilarious. Tui. What genius. If someone spends so much valuable medicines on me, I'll probably be a better cultivator than she is. Your Highness, Your Highness. Are you all right? Mu Ruyan was so teared that she hurriedly ran towards the Crown Prince to save his relationship with him. Look! It's Mu Ruyan. I didn't expect that she would have the nerve to watch this match. Haha. She really have no shame or whatsoever. Haha. She looks like a fairy, but her shame knows no boundaries. Everyone's jealous and irritated towards Mu Ruyan. All kinds of insulting words were thrown at her relentlessly. The plea of the second genius in the whole Purple Moon Kingdom had now become a joke. I didn't know. Mu Ruyan cried her eyes out upon hearing their words. She looks helplessly at the crowd. Mu Qian and Yuzei didn't care what will happen to Mu Ruyan afterwards. The two of them went straight at home to help Mu Qian deal with her wounds. But when Yusei and Mu Qian came out from Jinwatang, a murderous intent filled the area. Suddenly, Mu Qian was brought into a cold hard embrace. Who hurt you? His tone was cold and ruthless. Me, Hai Wooer. Long time no see. Mu Wushuang, me, you. Wait, are you angry? Mu Wushuang, me, eh. Why? I didn't even see you since New Year, you know. Mu Wushuang, me, what's wrong with you? Mu Wushuang. Me, what? Mu Wushuang, do you really not know or you're just pretending? Me, what is it? I don't know what you're talking about. Mu Wushuang, sigh asterisk I can't believe you. Me, what? Wait, where you going? Hey wait. Are you okay? Yusei turned pale at the sight of the person wearing a black skeleton mask. He feels his whole body trembling as fear creep over him. He exclaimed. Night Prince. What is he doing here? Hold on. That's not important. He took leader. The more he looks at those icy blue eyes, the more goosebumps MPS appear on his skin. Yusei truly felt that his soul will slowly disappear if this continues. In the end, Jiu Yi stopped himself from inflicting Yusei any more danger, his figure slowly blending with the night. Mu Qian, sensing the ice block's intention, quickly said. Yusei, don't worry about me. I'll be back soon. Yusei wanted to chase after them, but he can't move his body, slowly digging his fingernails into his palms. Don't worry, she said. How can he not worry? The man who took her was none other than the evil star of the purple moon. That man was rumored to be homicidal, indignant, and inhumane. Someone even said that that man was a devil in disguise that climbed out of Hell. Suddenly, a thought struck him. The first time Yusei looked for Mu Qianxi, a man's voice echoed in his head. That deep voice is very similar to the Night Prince's. Yusei remembered Jiu Ye's words clearly. She's the woman whom I swore to protect. Yusei felt his heart wrench a little, he teared. I need to find Mu Jia's third master quickly. In any case, the fact that a dangerous individual took Mu Qian away must be reported first to her only relative or he won't feel at ease. You're saying that man took Xi'er away? Mu Wushuang's voice was warm like a spring breeze. Yusei asked politely. Third master, what should we do? If Xi'er said there's nothing to worry about, then it's fine. But that brat dared to take Xi'er, I really want to cut off his hands and turn him into a eunuch. Mu Wushuang said slowly, but the gentle tone earlier was replaced with a threatening one instead. The porcelain cup on Mu Wushuang's hand was pulverized. Yusei was shocked to see the gentle third master become so angry like this. He secretly told himself. Looks like before a man can approach leader, he must get third master's approval first. Go back and continue your work. Yes. Mu Wushuang slightly lowered his head, he muttered. That man, what is he planning to do? Is he plotting against me and Xi'er, against our family? They've been in the Purple Moon Kingdom for years, he encountered all sorts of people yet he cannot grasp what does the Night Prince is thinking. For Mu Wushuang, this Jiu Yi is a very strange existence. Jiu Yi along with Mu Qian came to his chamber. He placed her down on the soft bed and wanted to take off her clothes. Mu Qian hastily said. I'll get my own medicine, will you excuse me for a second? But Jiu Yi blankly said. No need, mine is better. In a breath of time, the Night Prince, Jiu Yi directly tears Mu Qian's sleeves which is filled with blood. On her snow-white skin, few shallow red traces was seen, his eyes are getting colder and colder. Jiu Yi took out his own medicine, without waiting for Mu Qian's approval. He starts to apply it on her wounds. Mu Qian froze, everything happened too fast. She never believed that someone like Jiu Yi can help someone with their wounds, but seeing it with her own eyes, she was quite shocked. In fact, Jiu Yi seems to have talent for this. He does it so well that it can be compared to her skill as a doctor in her past life. How did he even get to know to do this kind of thing? Jiu Yi saw her surprised expression. He gently brushes the messy hair on Mu Qian's forehead and said in a low voice. Ben Jun, just learned it. He rarely gets hurt, so he had never done this before. But the woman in front of him always gets hurt, how can he not learn? Mu Qian smiled. How come you're so talented like this? From the beginning to end, you're really efficient. I didn't feel any discomfort at all. I even thought that you might be a physician that has 30 to 40 years of experience. In the corner of his lips, a subtle curve was seen, he said. That's good. Jiu Yi then stood up and turned around. All of a sudden, a terrifying killing intent exudes from his body. East Palace, how dare he? To hurt the woman he's trying to protect, there's certainly a big price to pay. Just when some of the skeletons are about to abide by their master's order, Mu Qian immediately holds Jiu Yi's hand. Jiu Yi, wait. If you destroy the Crown Prince's palace, how can he pay the debts he owes me then? Fine. Jiu Yi waved his hand, the skeletons outside were left on standby. Mu Qian looked up, and at that moment, she can feel that Jiu Yi is actually angry for her sake. Jiu Yi, although I don't know why you're trying to protect me. I'm not a paper tiger, for a person like Xianyuan Shang, I can deal with him myself. Tian, something that seems fierce/threatening but is actually much weaker than it looks. We'll do what you want. Jiu Yi faintly said. Mu Qian let out a sly smile. I'm sure that Xianyuan Shang won't let us off easily after this. Say, does my wounds look serious? At this time, in the East Palace, Xianyuan Shang felt hot all over his body. Hot. So hot. This. Eunuch Zhang looked at the condition of the Crown Prince, he's convinced that it was. But what baffles him is that even though His Highness just lost earlier from his match with the Mujia's lord and suffered some heavy injuries, upon waking up, he ended up as a wolf in heat instead. Hurry! Bring in all the prince's concubines. After a while, the mouth of the Crown Prince started to foam. His condition can't be delayed any longer. Eunuch Zhang ushered. Ladies, please come here. In the end, the Crown Prince took all of his women, but they couldn't suppress him enough. Tian, what the heck? What? How? All of them. Really? If Eunuch Zhang let the prince go on like this, perhaps His Highness would go out and find another woman. But he remembered that the Crown Prince is too picky about women. Boom! One of the prince's guards was knocked out. Eunuch Zhang, I found the princess consort and brought her here. She should be of use. I can't. Mu Ruyan started to panic, she knew exactly what they need her for. But a horrible scream came. Crown Prince. What's wrong? Before she became one of the Crown Prince's women, His Highness, the Crown Prince fainted. The result of the Imperial pharmacist's diagnosis was out. They said that the Crown Prince was overworked and for a period of time he probably can't, get it up. Tn, is this considered as an explicit content? Should I change the words? OMG. Regarding on how long this period of time was supposed to be, all the pharmacists inside went silent. They aren't certain, but perhaps it can even last a lifetime. On that very night, on the other side of the palace, Mu Qian asked. Jiu Yi, my wounds are all healed. Can I go back now? Until your scars disappear, I won't permit you to go. Zhou Yi insisted. Mu Qian accepted her fate. Fine. This won't last long anyway. Besides, his healing ointments are much better than what she got. It wasn't because she could not make it, but that kind of elixir was completely worthless for her and she doesn't want to do it either. Mu Qian silently laid herself sideways on the bed to avoid pressing on her wounds. All of a sudden, Zhou Yi turned over to lay by her side. He put one hand on her waist and took her into his arms so naturally. Mu Qian, who was stiff all over, said in a hurry. Zhou Yi. What are you doing? Why did you have to squeeze in here? You have so many other beds. Hugging you is pleasant. He murmured. Those icy blue eyes slowly shut and his beautiful face that can match no one is only an inch apart from hers. His heartbeat is very calm. He had done this in order to keep Mu Qian from pressuring her wounds while she sleeps, so he forced her to sleep with him, nothing more. The more she gets along with him, the more she came to know that no matter how much she struggles, Zhou Yi won't let her refuse if he wanted to do something. In the end, she just imagined that there is a beautiful and unique human body pillow on her bed for her only use. Mu Qian had rested for a long while. When nightfall came, Mu Qian woke up. She stretched her body and confirmed that she's already in good shape, all her scars are gone. Mu Qian wanted to leave, but as she was about to ask for Zhou Yi's permission, he said, I'm hungry. As a result, she was left to eat a delicious meal first before coming back to her own place. The black figure's speed was akin to lightning. In a short moment, Zhou Yi and Mu Qian arrived at her courtyard. On the ground, there was a shadow which is pulled long by the oblique moonlight. Mu Qian shouted. You say. It's late, why are still here? Me, wooer. I have something to report to you. Mu Wushuang. What? Me, hee hee. Get ready for a shock. Mu Wushuang. Me, your lovely niece. Hee hee. Slept with the night prince on the same bed. Mu Wushuang, what? Me, that's not all. Apparently he also bandaged her wounds. Wooer. Wait, where you going? Why are you carrying that sword? Mu Wushuang, how dare he? I'll turn that brat into a eunuch. Me, what? Are you crazy? Wah. Why are there so many shadows outside? Mu Wushuang, shadows. This is an order. We will go into the Night Prince's palace at this moment. Shadows, yes. Me, wait. There is gotta be a misunderstanding, right? He probably had his reasons. How about we wait for Mu Qian to come back first, before going on a suicidal mode? Mu Wushuang. Me, so, what do you think? Mu Wushuang, shadows, let's go. Me, WTF. Wooer, come back. OSHIT, SHIT, SHIT. Zhou Ye's gonna kill me for this. Flows as if it was a dream. Leader. When Yuzhe heard the familiar voice, he turned around and rejoiced. In addition to Mu Qian, Yuzhe also saw a pair of icy blue eyes that can freeze people staring at him. Yuzhe calmed his mind and raised his eyes to also stare at that person. For eyes are now at a stalemate, a silent war begins. However, in just a few moments, Yuzhe's palms began to sweat and he felt that blood will come out of his mouth if he continues. Yuzhe cleared his throat and laughed. Since leader came back safely, I am relieved. My old man is probably angry at me, so I'll go home first. The blue figure disappeared in front of Mu Qian. Mu Qian looked at the person by her side and reminded him. Zhu Yi, it's late. You should also go back. Jiu also disappeared, leaving without saying anything more. Cough. In an alley, Yuzei leaned his body on the wall. The corner of his mouth has blood and his face are so pale. That man is too strong. If it wasn't for his leader, Yuzei felt that he would die without any burial just from that man's gaze alone. Exclamation point. Sounds that appears to come out of H-E-L-L are approaching Yuzei in a fast pace. Yuzei raised his eyes and saw multiple blood-red skeletons heading towards his way. Infernal skeletons are what the people of this kingdom call them and are considered as one of the Night Prince's murder weapon. Worthy of its name, no person alive ever escaped from these creatures of H-E-L-L. Xianyuan Jiuyi wanted him dead. A black figure, gracefully fall from the sky, like a devil incarnate. Yuzei with his every fiber felt the murderous intent coming from that man. He lowly asked. Xianyuan Jiuyi, you're a dangerous man. Tell me, what is your purpose with leader? Even though death is in sight, the one thing he cared the most was not his own life but someone else. Xianyuan Jiuyi's icy blue eyes flashed a light. He coldly asked. You care about her? Yes. Therefore, if you hurt even a strand of her hair, I don't care if you're stronger than me. I will do everything to stop you. Yuzei gathers all of his chi in his fist and made a blow towards Jiuyi. But when he was about to reach him, a barrier blocked Yuzei. Yuzei's eyes were disoriented. Is he going to die? In Yuzei's mind he wanted to spend more time with Mu Qian. He wanted to stay by her side a little longer. It seems you realized your purpose. Unfortunately, you're too weak. Before Yuzei lost his consciousness, he heard these merciless words. Mu Qian went to a certain room. In the midst of the room, a man wearing a mask lay on the bed. She asked. Did he wake up when I was gone? Reporting to Lord, since we brought him over here, he didn't wake up, he did not move a muscle either. Mu Yi said. Even though he looks like a human, the young man doesn't have any organs in his body. For a ghost doctor like Mu Qian, even if she wanted to wake him up, she doesn't know where to start. Observe him carefully. If he wakes up, call me. I don't believe that this person is easy to beat. Inform Yuzei to come see me tomorrow. Understood. Yuzei was awakened by Mu-san the next day, when he woke up and found himself still alive. Yuzei felt blessed. He's alive and he has no injuries. He never believed that someone like him could escape the Night Prince's eyes. What is the meaning of this? Xianyuan Jieyi. What is he planning exactly? Young master, Lord is looking for you. Tell her, I'll be there in a minute. He got away from that devil the first time, since he was given another chance. He would cherish his life more. Mu Qian let out a playful smile and asked. Yuzei, what's the situation of the flower boats after renovation? Yuzei said. Excellent. Oh. Then let's go this evening. I'll find you some great beauties. What do you prefer? Mature or a pure one? We can also find a beauty as gentle as the water if you want. I won't go. Yuzei's forehead is full of black lines. What's the matter? Don't guys always love going on these kinds of places? Mu Qian is doubtful on his nonchalant attitude. I have to settle some accounts first. I don't have the time to go. Yuzei said quickly. You really won't go? It seems that I have to go alone then. Mu Qian muttered. Leader. This. You're a woman, you don't have to go on those places by yourself. Although, Mu Qian doesn't act like a normal woman, that kind of place is still not good. Mu Qian raised her brow. I'm your leader, I can go wherever I want to. Besides, who dares to stop me? Don't you have more things to do? Hurry up and settle those accounts. By the way, I don't have time to check the repair situation of the ghost doctor's building. so add that to your list. Mu Qian pushed him out, adding another burden that was supposed to be hers originally. Leader. Yuzhe, I am sure lucky to have you as my little brother. While you're busy counting money, this lord will go out to have some fun. I will leave all those matters to you. Mu Qian smiled so brightly that Yuzhe can't help but nod his head in agreement instead. Since she is going to visit a flower building, Mu Qian decided to dress up again as a man. Tn, the name of the brothel. Ah, Ting shouted. Men woman. You dare use my face to visit a lowly place. Are you trying to ruin my perfect image? Mu Qian's mouth twitched. You. Perfect. Ha, are you injured in the head? Isn't it you who created this idea in the first place? Arg. Why did I let you use my face? I shouldn't have done that. At this time, Ah Ting was filled with regret. Mu Qian, who left the house and is ready to head towards the flower building, suddenly thought of something, resulting to changing her direction. A deep purple figure appeared in the number 1 auction house. Mu Qian looked at the top floor where a man sitting beside the window is resting. The golden sunlight gilded his jade-like face. Nalan, are you free today? How about joining me for a drink? Mu Qian laughed. Seeing a teenager with pale green eyes like an elf, Nalan Yu's narrow fox eyes flashed a hint of surprise. Mu Shi, you finally came. I thought you'd forgotten me. How can that be? I regard you as my friend. I was just busy with other matters, then I only have this time to come and visit you. So, you must come with me today, as I've prepared a surprise for you. Surprise? Nalan Yu unexpectedly becomes excited. What surprise? You will know when you come with me. Mu Qian's figure flashed while Nalan Yu followed. On the purple moon lake, blue waves gently rippled. When the both of them got on a luxurious little boat, Nalan Yu thought that they would leisurely drink while watching the sun sets. He was really happy. But when the boat moved towards a magnificent ship, Mu Qian stood up and said to him, Nalan, let's go up. Nalan Yu's mouth twitches. Mu Shi, isn't this the purple moon's largest pleasure boat? Liushang rumming. You said we're going there. Mu Qian grabbed him by the arm and said. Yes, yes. Nalan, let's go up and have some fun. Come on, don't be shy. Me, Zhou Yi. Why did you ask for me to come here? Housekeeper Bai handed a tea for me to drink. Zhou Yi, do you really not know or you're just pretending? Me, gulps. I really have no idea. Zhou Yi, Mu Qian. Me, Zhou Yi, I have something to ask about Mu Qian. Me, oh. Is that so? Hee hee. What is it? Sweating profusely. Zhou Yi, I heard she is going on a flower building. Me, ah. Yes, I also heard it from Yuzhe. Drink another mouthful of tea to ease the tension. Zhou Yi, what's a brothel? Spurts cup of tea out of my mouth, me, ack. A hack. Are you king kidding me? Zhou Yi, glares, just answer the DAMN question, woman. Me, eep. I. Housekeeper Bai should be the one explaining this to you, not me. Housekeeper Bai. He was just here a moment ago. Zhou Yi, if you don't give me an answer, I'll kill you here and now. Me, Zhou Yi. OMG. Please calm yourself. I will tell you. Jia Yi, good. A few moments later. Zhou Yi crushed the cup in his hands to pieces. That woman. How dare her? Me, asterisk shaking all over. Jiu Yi, you. Me, eek. What? I already explained it to you. What do you want now? Jiu Yi, tell me where that place is. Me, I don't know. Ah. Jiu Yi. UFC King Liar. Let me down. Jiu Yi, stop moving so much. Me, DAMNUJUYE. Don't like women. Mu Qian boasted. I heard from someone that this place has the best beauties so far. On top were 4 beautiful women who excel at different talent. I'll book them all today to accompany you. Nalan Yu is flabbergasted. This kid is being ridiculous again. He protested. Brother Mu, can we not go? Mu Qian skimmed him from head to toe and was a little bemused, she said. What's going on with you two? Isn't it every man's wish to have fun at this kind of place? As for me, this is the very first time. If you persist on acting that way, I'll poison you and drag your body up there by myself. Looking at the eyes of Mu Shi, who seemed serious, Nalan Yu's mouth can't help but twitch. Is he really his friend? He had been deceived by his clear appearance as an elf. Nalan Yu let out a sigh and said. I understand. Brother Mu, I'll go up with you. Anyway, Mu Shi said that he was only curious to try it the first time. When they go inside and Mu Shi dislikes it, they can leave immediately. Even if Mu Qian didn't introduce herself as the owner, they still garnered a lot of the beauty's attention from the reception alone due to their unworldly beauty. I believe this is the first time this one sees such guest. Do tell, what can this one do for you? Mu Qian directly took out a stack of gold banknotes on her spatial ring and propped it all in front of the beauty, she said. I want you to take us to the most expensive room on the top floor, serve us the best wine and foods, and then take the 4 tablets of Chu Kong, Mei Jian, Yi Ying and Chan Yu from the list. They will serve me and my friend here for tonight. But isn't this your first time here? Bam! Mu Qian dropped another stack of gold banknotes. Don't talk nonsense. Here, I believe this amount will suffice. Besides, no matter how much she pays them, all that money would still end up in her pocket, so Mu Qian was surprisingly being generous today. Some of the guests around saw the 2 stacks of gold banknotes on the counter and was frightened by the sight of it. If their guess is right, the amount should reach about 1 million. It was common for the Purple Moon Kingdom to have a lot of rich people, but to see a young master to spend such sum is so absurd that it reminded them of a certain someone. That person was from a nouveau riche family. Nalan Yu's mouth is twitching. Where did Brother Mu learn to spend money just like this? The woman in charge at the reception was stunned by the young man's behavior. It would be stupid of her to refuse them at this point. Not just the top 4 beauties, even if these 2 wanted to have all the women on this ship, there would be no problem at all. Understood. This servant will prepare it immediately. Mu Qian sat at the top floor of the Liushang Ruming, which is both luxurious and top CLA. S.S. The lake was peaceful and statue still. A faint stream of light protruded her face. Even the wind slowly blows her long gray-green hair, which can be regarded as a live painting. Nalan Yu froze at the beautiful sight in front of him that can make both the heaven and earth lose its color. Not only Mu Shi's enchanting looks, his ident. Tai is also a total mystery for Nalan Yu. Mu Shi is like the wind that even if Nalan Yu can hold on to it, he can also flow out of his fingers anytime. Despite all of that, Nalan Yu still wanted to get closer to him. Without waiting for Nalan Yu to appreciate enough, gentle voice came outside. Young masters. Chu Kong, Mei Jian, Yi Ying and Chan Yu arrived. Please let them serve you with their utmost ability. These four are considered as the top beauty, Mayor that looks gentle and refined. Chuer who has an exquisite body and gorgeous face, Year like her name is smart and lovely, while Chana beauty was akin to a fairy. Upon going inside the room, these four girls' beauty was instantly outshined by the two young masters they were supposed to serve. These two gentlemen make them feel inferior. If these two young men didn't spend so much already, they some that they're here to ruin their reputation as the top beauties instead. Mu Qian motioned them to sit. Mayrin, please have a seat. Nalan, you're a businessman. I'm sure you're more familiar with this kind of place than I am. Nalan, you can't even let out a fake smile. He had come from this kind of place many times, but he always talk about business and will leave immediately after, that's all. This is definitely the first time he'd come here to play. What about you? I really can't believe that it's your first time here, especially with the things you've done earlier. Nalan, you heaves a sigh. You can't make a silk purse from a sow's ear, how would I know if I never tried? Mu Qian lazily said. Tian, people use this expression to mean that someone who is not up to a job will never be good at it, no matter how much training they receive. But forget about that. Here, choose whichever beauty you like. Mu Qian cast her eyes away from the four beauties in front and sips her tea instead. Although her appearance right now is a man, she is still a girl inside. She will never be interested in women, after all, these four ladies are only for Nalan Yu, nothing more. Nalan Yu laughed, he said. Brother Mu, since this is your first time here today, isn't it better for you to pick first? I invited you here as my guest, of course you have to pick first. Didn't you know the saying that every lord's words is for the guest to obey? Two people continued to push the decision onto the other, Mei Jian pitifully said. Masters, do you not like us here? Even though the beauty already said those words with teary eyes, the two of them hadn't put her in their eyes at all. Mu Qian sighed, then took Mei Jian's hands and sincerely said. How could that be? It's just that this master doesn't like women, so you all just have to serve him without me. Mu Qian finally said it, so Nalan, you can't shirk his responsibility any longer. The four beauties opened their mouth and looked at Mu Qian in an incredible way. This enchanting youth, who is more beautiful than any other woman, turns out to be He is In a while, they all thought it was normal. Such an enchanting man, it is estimated that in this world there is no woman alive that can be worthy of him. All the beauties turned to look at Nalan Yu. Nalan Yu was also shocked at Mu Qian's declaration. At this moment, he was really unsure of what is going on. Mu Shi does not like women, does that mean that His heartbeat starts to increase, in fact he doesn't have a clue on what's going on with his body either. But seeing the cunning pale green eyes of him, Nalan Yu is not sure if he's telling the truth or not. When the four women was about to go on his side, he declared. I don't like women either. Thud, all the four beauties fall off from their chair. Mu Qian suspiciously stared at Nalan Yu. She asked. Nalan, are you sure you're not lying to me? Nalan Yu smiled gently. When did I ever lie to you? The two young men stared fixedly at each other. The women around them can feel the tension between them. Are they It's possible. Chu Kong was the first one to break the silence. She said in a low yet lovely voice. Then, us four won't disturb the two gentlemen any longer. We'll leave first. When her voice fell, suddenly a loud noise came. The high ceramic glaze wall were broken into pieces from someone's fierce kick. An anxious voice was heard outside. Third young master, you really can't go in there, we have a very important guest at this moment. A mad voice came. Which important guest? In this Purple Moon Kingdom, is there any more important guest than me? This guy never learn. Hope you enjoy reading. Caught in the act. A young man in green robe rushed in. His face was a little feminine and apparently due to excessive drinking his skin was abnormally pale too. Nalan Yu, who was smiling gently a little while ago, was now exuding a cold expression due to the Ouyang clan's third young master's abrupt entrance. Ouyang Xiang, who rushed in after a glance, saw an enchanting youth with unworldly features, simply ignoring the four beauties he was supposed to take in the first place. He quickly moved towards Mu Qian's direction and said, "This enchanting youth, he's exactly the beauty I've been looking for. How about you come with me?" But Ouyang Xiang, who hasn't reached Mu Qian, was blown away by a terrible gale first. Ah! Ouyang Xiang was easily thrown outside the room like a paper. Plop, directly into the water. Young master! Young master! For a moment, frenetic voices said onto one another. Mu Qian slightly raised her eyebrow. Nalan, aren't you being hasty? Nalan, you smile at her. In no way would I give him a chance to get close to you. Chu Kong interrupted them in a low voice. The two of you must hurry back. That guest is the Ouyang clan's third young master, Ouyang Xiang. If someone dare go against him, he will never let you go. I know another way that you two can take to another exit, please come with me. Tian, Ouyang Xiang is called third master here, because he's the 3rd/sup sibling among the Ouyang lord's children. While in their residence he is called as second young master because he's the second son of the lord. Mu Qian waved her hand as a gesture that she refuses Chu Kong's offer. Mayren, if we go, I'm afraid that it'll be you four who would suffer the most. Chu Kong felt thankful. Although gentleman doesn't like women, I can tell that you are truly worried for us. But don't worry, we have a powerful person's backing. How can a mere third young master ruin us? You're so naive. Do you really think that the Mu Jia can be your patron? This ship was originally ours to begin with. No matter what I do, that D.A.M. and Mu Qian, she can't do anything to me. Mark my words. Ouyang Xiang's personal guards are good. He was immediately brought back from the lake. Tian, a true idiot, Ouyang Xiang, who is wet all over, is glaring at Nalan Yu. Today, this one won't let the both of you escape. Let's see what you would do next when I am finished with you two. His words have not yet finished, but he can see that the enchanting youth is slowly walking towards his direction. Mu Qian coldly said, I think people like you are best to live their life as a eunuch. Arg! A drug needle was poked into Ouyang Xiang's waist. He was clueless of the poison that was put into his body. Catch him! Ouyang Xiang was furious as he shouted. Some of the guards that has the strength of martial master jumped up, ready to attack Mu Qian she altogether. Unexpectedly, a cold murderous intent came. Time had seemed to stop for everyone and Ouyang Xiang's guards were frozen from their places. The guards can feel that there is something from deep within them that's slowly disappearing, and in a blink of an eye, the guards were all turned into white bones. Paw! 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 One by one, the skeletons fell on the ground and were smashed to pieces. At this time, Ouyang Xiang was so scared to continue standing, so he fell limp to the ground. He knew what exactly is coming for his life. Nalan Yu's figure flashed. In a second he was standing in front of Mu Qian as if he is blocking a certain someone from her. His eyes were heavy, that mysterious man. Why is he here? A slender black figure, like the ancient devil, suddenly appeared on the open-air pavilion. With a flick of a sleeve, Ouyang Xiang's hands turned into bones, and then his legs are gradually turning into bones also. When the bones reached his knees, Mu Qian hastily shouted, Jiu Yi! In an instant, Ouyang Xiang's legs stopped turning into bones. A black figure flashed. Mu Qian at this time was being held tightly by Jiu Ye's arms. Did you play enough? Jiu Yi asked in a low tone. Mu Qian blinked a few times. How long has Jiu Yi been watching them? Mu Qian used Ah Ting's appearance when she go out. She was sure that even her little uncle wouldn't recognize her due to the disguise, so how come Jiu Yi immediately knew it was her without questioning? Mu Qian answered him truthfully. It wasn't enough. It's just that being disturbed by people today made me feel displeased instead. Next time, I will accompany you. Jiu Yi didn't even finish his sentence but directly lifted Mu Qian in his arms and jumped down from the top floor into the lake. Contrary to someone's expectations, Jiu Yi landed safely without getting wet anywhere. In a blink of an eye, he and Mu Qian were already at the opposite side of the lake. Nalan Yu heard Mu Qian's voice in his head. Nalan, I have to go. Nalan Yu looked at the two figures from afar. The pair of gentle eyes earlier was replaced with annoyance. D-A-M-N-it. What did Xianyuan Jiu Yi mean? Mu Shi said he would accompany me first. How dare he come and grab people all of a sudden? No wonder Mu Shi was so mysterious. He had a connection with the Purple Moon's Night Prince after all. Humph. Even if that's the case, he can't stop me from getting along with Mu Shi. Nalan Yu clenched his fist with his thought. The people living in the Purple Moon were all afraid of Jiu Yi, but since Nalan Yu is not a resident here, he is not afraid of that evil star even a little bit. The Night Prince, the devil himself, appeared suddenly, letting the whole people who were left behind petrified and speechless. But when they saw the Night Prince holding a goblin-sized boy, they were completely stunned. I never thought that there would be a day that I will saw the Night Prince hold someone would come. No wonder His Highness is not close to any woman, turns out he actually likes men. The Night Prince has not gone far yet, so they can't talk like this. But now that he disappeared completely, the courage of the people has risen. Because of this event, news regarding the Night Prince adoring a man spread throughout the whole Purple Moon Kingdom. Rumor has it that the boy is His Highness' male pet. With the boy's enchanting beauty akin to an elf, naturally the cold-blooded Night Prince had fallen for him at first sight. Nalan Yu's face turned dark as the bottom of a pot. Mu Shi said he likes men. It couldn't be the Night Prince, right? At the thought that there would be some kind of ambiguous relationship between those two, Nalan Yu always feels some discomfort in his heart. Nalan Yu turned his head and asked the four beauties with a smile on his face. Do you think the Night Prince is better than this gentleman? Yi Ying smiled mischievously at his query. Gongzi, are you perhaps jealous? But Yi Ying thinks that compared to the scary Night Prince, you're much better. You're gentle and amiable, completely the opposite of the Night Prince. He's the embodiment of the word evil. Nalan Yu let out a proud smile. I also think I'm far better than that evil star. I will pray to the gods that you will get the little prince back from the Night Prince. Let that little prince fall in love with you instead. Yi Ying smiled gently. For a moment, Nalan Yu froze. Wah! What nonsense are you spouting? This gentleman is not a broken sleeve. This gentleman only treats Mu Shi as a good friend, nothing more. The white figure hastily left the room and headed towards the other side of the lake on the boat he and Mu Shi used earlier. It's that entire evil star's fault that Nalan Yu was cranky. Pooh! This time, a murderous intent rushed out from the lake. Nalan Yu ducked sideways, sins. Swish. Numerous figures rushed out and pulled out their sword to attack Nalan Yu. Another white figure appeared, directly blowing away the group of sins. Due to the powerful force from the white figure, the gentle lake burst. An old man in white hastily said, "Young master, are you all right?" The old man is on par with the Purple Moon Kingdom's strongest man. He is also at the peak of 9th stage Spirit King. The old man already dealt with half of the Sin's group, Nalan Yu shouted. Leave at least one alive. Yes. Nalan Yu's face was gloomy. Didn't think they would start this early. Young master, the head already informed us some news. There's something he wants you to do. We need to go back immediately. Nalan Yu, who was always indifferent and calm, finally lost his composure. What is happening exactly? How come many problems arise this time? Didn't I tell you that I will have to stay here in the Purple Moon Kingdom for a while? Tell me why. Elder Wu lowered his head and said. Young master, if I may, I think you've been here in the Purple Moon Kingdom long enough and it's time for us to go back. Tian, Wu means fifth, but since I already named the elders in Mu Qian residence by number, I will just name him Elder Wu. Also, if you forgot, he is also the person I named master by back then. Author keeps changing his name. Sigh, this small kingdom, although Nalan Yu came here before, he would immediately go back after a few days. He had done this for many years now. But now, he couldn't bear to leave, because Mu Shi's here. A thought suddenly pops from his mind. You're jealous. It seems that he has to calm down first. What would happen if Mu Shi perceived him wrong? What if Mu Shi hate him for this? We'll go back. Master Bai, send my regards to Mu Shi after we leave. Below Xiao Lushan Mountain, another lake is located. The whole mountain is the private domain of His Highness, Xianyuan Jiuyi. Jiuyi brought Mu Qian to his Yuehu lake that is quiet and looks like a fairyland from above. Two people floating in the air made an elegant turn and fell slowly into a luxurious ship built with exquisite purple bamboo. Jiuyi slowly said. Here, this place is more suitable for you and me. Is it considered gay if Nalan Yu fell in love with Mu Qian, who's disguising herself as a man? Why are those four beauties act like a fujoshi in our era? When will Nalan Yu come back and confess his feelings? Where did Jiuyi learn to plan a date? Why is the MC so fuc ***** dense? P.S. Think of the image below as the Yuehu Lake. He's got his hands full. Though she can't accept it, Mu Qian is really having fun with Jiuyi. Her mouth twitches with this silly thought. But as usual, Jiuyi watches her with an indifferent face. Mu Qian, leaning on a soft couch, finally voiced out. Jiuyi, since we're here to have some fun, it's a must to have a delicious wine, right? Jiuyi, with a wave of his hand, presented all sorts of delicious foods in the table in front of her. There are also a few jars of wines, that even with the cork on she could still smell the mellow aroma coming from it. There's wine and food, but where's the beauty? With his delicate fingers, Jiayi slowly took off his mask, stares directly at Mu Qian's eyes and said. I'm already here. PFT. Mu Qian can't help but let out a hearty laugh. This Ashura even admitted that he was a beauty. In a while, Mu Qian stopped laughing, because she noticed a certain someone looming above her. Jiuyi's face is so close, she could actually feel her nose touching his delicate skin. Jiuyi's cold and husky voice resounded on her ears. Are you not satisfied with this gentleman? Haha. That's not true. In fact, in my whole life you are the most beautiful man I had seen. Mu Qian ters, deep inside she added another sentence. Except for my little uncle. She is still biased with her family members after all. Mu Qian shi ubastard. How dare you say that using my face? Don't even say such a lie just to please him. Ah, Ting angrily shouted in her head. This narcissistic guy, he can only be third at most, Mu Qian secretly told herself. Jiuyi's thin and graceful lips curved slightly upwards in the faintest hint of smile. Mu Qian's answer, he's very satisfied. Unexpectedly, Jiuyi held out his hand to touch Mu Qian's face, he said. Change back, I don't want to look at him. Mu Qian was surprised to see his cold eyes aimed at her again. She felt that there's also a hint of disappointment thrown in there. How rare of him to show many emotions this time. Isn't he the first one to claim the Zheozhong Chaos Pavilion from her? That 9th-tier Chaos Pavilion. Mu Qian hadn't thought that Jiu Yi would detest Ah Ting's appearance so much that he can't bear to look at her any longer. Fine. Anyway, I'm also not comfortable at using his face. If not for the convenience of moving as a man in the capital, I wouldn't do this, you know. Mu Qian then turned back her original appearance. Her clothes nevertheless stayed the same. Jiu Yi looked more satisfied looking at her face now. He unconsciously heaves a sigh of relief. He slowly said, "Delicious foods, fine wine and a beauty, I've prepared all of them now, so how about you?" This is definitely the longest time she heard him speak while they're alone. It made her speechless for a moment. Even if Jiu Yi hadn't said it in more details, she more or less guessed his meaning. Mu Qian got a slight twitch in her mouth. How could she be ignorant with these things? I know. Jiu Yi probably felt the hesitation from Mu Qian, so he directly patted her back. To call it a proper pleasure boat, delicious foods, fine wine, beauty and beautiful songs are all necessary. Jiu Yi already prepared the first 3 items, the only thing that was left is. Mu Qian broke another cold sweat. Somehow she can feel that she had fallen into a trap. Unexpectedly, this ice block is also a black belly at some times. Mu Qian let out a smile and said, "I don't know how to sing properly, I'm always out of tune. I'm afraid that me singing would only be a joke to you." In fact, she never tried to sing in front of anyone before, even in the modern times, because she is a certified tone-deaf from birth. Even if she tried to sing in KTV for 3 days and 3 nights, no improvement will happen. So for any matters regarding music, she had given up on it long ago. Jiu Yi faintly said, "I don't mind. I do not know many songs. I'm afraid that the songs I knew are not to your liking." "It's fine. I've forgotten some of the lyrics, I'm afraid I won't even reach the end." "It doesn't matter." Regardless of how much she struggled, Jiu Yi with an expressionless face and clear voice refuted her back. Mu Qian finally gave up. "It seems that I only have this choice, huh? But before we start, let me eat my fill first." Mu Qian, she began to sweep the food on the table. She didn't even let the wine go. The wine Jiu Yi brought is not only fragrant but also has high alcohol content. With just a cup, Mu Qian is already tipsy. Seems that she can gather a lot of courage when drunk. She stood slowly in front. Her long ebony black hair is swaying along with the wind. She composed herself and let out a deep breath. "I will now start. I will really start now. Go." A crisp voice came out. "Click this for the song. https://www.youtube.com/watch. V equals RFVUXZ_ABUT. Turfly stays at my fingertips saying she's leaving before dawn to find the sky with you inside. Though life is as brief as tide, do not imitate the fictions among so many ancient legends of love. I just met you by coincidence." Although Mu Qian was out of tune on the first run, she managed to stay at tune on the second half and her voice never break, which can be considered as a good thing. At this time, a guqin was taken out from Jiu Ye's spatial ring. Following Mu Qian singing, he began to accompany her, and the song was a lot more colorful now. On the luxurious boat, a woman in purple dress stood against the wind, and every word that comes from her mouth is full of melody. While the man in black robe is playing the guqin so gracefully at the back. Jiu Yi looked at the woman's back, and his face showed a gentle smile. Maybe, because that woman is trying her best to sing this song, she did not pay any attention on what's happening behind her at all. Among so many mysteries in the world, true lovers never let go. At last, more deeply you lost in love, more ripples appear in your heart. Suddenly, Mu Qian's tune made a big change. Whether it's the lyrics or the song, the notes are going up and down incessantly. With Jiu Ye's skills, no matter how high or low it was, he still matched Mu Qian's song perfectly. If our love flows east with the wind, I will not escape because of you. Endless mountains and rivers are never far away, no more afraid of tempests or rainstorms, neither will I sob for the remote journey. It is our unswerving love, it is the chance to be fascinated by our predestined matching. Mu Qian turned and smiled at Jiu Yi. Jiu Yi, the song is finished. I finally did it. Perhaps with the effect of the wine coming up, Mu Qian's snowy white skin turned into a little pinkish color. The smile on her face made the icy blue eyes sway a little bit from the embarrass. Meant. In the past life, Mu Qian did drink a lot, but she had never been so tipsy before like this. At this moment, her head was a little blank and she forgot some important details, such as the Night Prince in front of her was a mad-killing machine. She unscrupulously revealed her true thoughts in front of the Night Prince. Jiu Yi, the reason I wanted to go to that flower building was because I wanted to see a beauty that I've not yet seen before. But in the end, no one can compare to you. Drunk MC is dangerous OMG. By the way, the song Mu Qian is singing came from the anime Fox Spirit Matchmaker. Synopsis: True love never dies, even when it is between a human and a near-immortal yokai. Thankfully, Fox Spirit Yokai have discovered a solution which allows a human to be reincarnated, and with the services of a Fox Spirit Matchmaker, eventually recall memories of their past life, so they can begin anew with their beloved Yokai. Enter Bai Yuechu, a powerful human Taoist who desires freedom from the ruling I Chi Dao League, and Tushan Susu, a small and innocent fox spirit who dreams of becoming a renowned matchmaker, despite her reputation as a colossal screw-up. After Susu literally falls through the roof and into his life, Yuechu gets dragged into helping her bring together two separated lovers, Prince Fan Yunfei and his reincarnated lover, Li Shuiyang. However, not everyone wants them to be reunited, including Shuiyang herself. Thrown together by fate, Yuechu and Susu will discover who they truly are, and who they used to be. If you want to watch it, there are already episodes of it with English sut. Please on YouTube. To take advantage. Someone said that all it takes is one good drink to take the edge off and give you the boost of courage you need. Maybe, due to the alcohol taking effect, Mu Qian at this time is really courageous. Mu Qian has always been reckless, but that isn't the case with a certain someone. She was always been very careful about the man in front of her that is more dangerous than the devil. She wouldn't dare say nor do anything disrespectful that can inspire his ire towards her. But now, she finally did it. Mu Qian, who is so drunk at this moment, touched Jiu Yi's face. Jiu Yi, your skin is so smooth. Why is it cold though? Not only did she touch Jiu Yi without permission, but she also adds interesting comments as her hand trace along Jiu Yi's face, starting from his brows to his nose until her delicate fingers reached his lips. Jiu Yi raises his eyes and saw a pair of drunken eyes staring right at him with a hint of sorrow from deep within. In his cheeks, he could feel the heat she exhaled from the tip of her nose. As long as he approached her gently, he can block those chattering lips. This woman needs to learn some lessons. Deep, icy blue eyes is now overflowing with strong emotions, but when he was about to act, Mu Qian with a thump had fallen in his chest to sleep. This woman wrapped herself around him like an octopus would. Mu Qian completely set Jiu Yi as her own body pillow. He cannot plunder her lips. Jia Yi then bows his head and leaves his mark on Mu Qian's forehead as an alternative. He whispered in her ear. You belong to this lord. Tian, Kya Yen, asterisk greater than over equal to 4 all less than over equal to asterisk, /, she only had 1 cup of wine but she's already drunk. She must not be allowed to drink in front of others from now on, Zhou Yi swore to himself. If this lovely side of hers would be shown to others, he would kill them without remorse. Mu Qian felt something cold and moist against her skin, making her heart tremble. It's just that Mu Qian's head was so blank at this time, so she just let those feelings go. In order not to wake up Mu Qian from any discomfort, Zhou Yi gently held her wrist and applied a cold force to dissolve the alcohol in her body. When Mu Qian woke up, the hangover completely left her body. What's more, is when she woke up she found herself lying in Zhou Yi's body. Although she had slept more than usual, then again, she can't continue causing trouble to the Night Prince. She stood up as if she had been electrocuted and looked up at the sky, acting up like nothing amiss happened. She laughed nervously and said, "I didn't think it is already so late. Zhou Yi, isn't it time for us to go back?" Zhou Yi slowly stood up and gracefully smoothed up Mu Qian's robe. He asked, "Are you sure you want to leave now?" "Why not leave now? Do you still have anything else to do?" She suddenly remembered the things she had done before falling asleep. She can't wait to bury herself at the very bottom of the lake from the embarrass meant she felt. Not only did Zhou Yi saw her being drunk but also heard how ridiculous her sounded when she sang a song. She even said some improper words towards him. For her singing, it was still okay, but for the remarks she made during her confusion, that is unacceptable no matter where you look. At this time, Mu Qian felt numerous crows flying over her head. If she had known that her body could not stand alcohol, she would never touch it in the first place. This is a big problem. She can never retaliate against Zhou Yi. If he made a move on her, she would surely die first. While Mu Qian is occupied, Zhou Yi at this time was currently beside her and gestures her to look towards the lake. "Look over there." With a flick of a sleeve, the lake shines with purple light, even more beautiful than fireflies, lighting up the entire Yuehu Lake. With the peaceful mountains being lightened up, the whole scenery before her eyes became more fascinating. But Mu Qian has some doubts. There is no way that Zhou Yi wanted to stay here just to show her this scene. That's impossible. However, for a moment, Mu Qian felt that the surrounding spiritual energy of heaven and earth became abnormally rich. A cold voice came from her ear. "This is the reason why I've invited you here in the Yuehu Lake. When you cultivate during this period, bottleneck for the next stage would only be half the normal effort." Mu Qian, who heard Jia Ye's words suddenly start cultivating, this speed is truly worth the trip. She felt a pair of cold eyes staring at her, and then the indifferent voice of Zhou Yi came. "Your strength is too weak. Be sure not to play all the time and practice some more. Also, don't follow some inexplicable men and go to some messy places just to have fun." Mu Qian is truly scared of Zhou Yi today. Why does she have this feeling that this ice block is changing at a fast pace? He also seems to be more talkative than before. She really has no clue why Zhou Yi wanted her to be strong. Mu Qian seems to be a little negligent in her cultivation due to refining medicines and dealing matter concerning with the Mu Jia. It is no wonder that he will be angry and invite her to practice at Yuehu Lake. She must continue to work hard to cultivate in the future, otherwise if the Ashura prince is dissatisfied with strength, he will really turn her body to nothing but bones. Contrary to her expectations, a cold yet pampering voice came beside her. "If you really love to play, this gentleman will accompany you." Boom! Hearing his words, Mu Qian accidentally reversed the flow of in her meridians and almost failed on her breaking her bottleneck. She really wanted to ask if the moon is just so beautiful tonight, or is he being possessed by another person to say such a thing to her at this moment. After this sentence, Zhou Yi returned to his cold and distant attitude while Mu Qian absorbing the around her with crazy speed. The purple light on the lake shone once more and thousands of spiritual powers gathered at Mu Qian's location, adding more and more spiritual power to her meridians. A snapping sound came. Mu Qian successfully break through to the 9th stage spirit warrior. Mu Qian slowly opened her eyes. Finally, she advanced to the 9th stage. Apparently, drinking a lot of elixirs the same as water didn't amount that much. For Mu Qian to reach the Spirit King, she still has a long way to go. Reaching this level is only the beginning of cultivation for her, and the more you advance the harder it was to cultivate into a higher realm. Mu Qian looked up to Jiu Yi and smiled. I successfully advanced to the 9th stage, it is almost midnight. We should go back. 9 Knights nodded slightly. He brought Mu Qian into his arms, then 2 figures disappeared from the lake. Jiu Yi sent Mu Qian to her courtyard, but he did not leave. Instead he sat on one of the chairs in the room. Mu Qian weakly asked. Jiu Yi, aren't you leaving? How about I make you some tea? Treat it as my thanks for bringing me there in the Yuehu Lake earlier. Good. When Mu Qian was about to prepare tea, a man in black suddenly broke into her room exuding a murderous intent. Mu Qian with a poison needles is about to shoot, but someone faster acted first. Thud. The man in black directly fell to the ground, and his arm holding a sword is slowly turning into white bones. The man raised his head and his eyes are now full of horror. The man in front of him that looks like a living Ashura confirmed his guess. Night Prince. The Sin's mind is filled with questions like why is the Night Prince in this room? If he had known it, even if his courage reached 10,000 times than normal, he will never dare to make a move on Mu Qian. Mu Qian looked at Jiu Yi, she was really embarrassed. Said. This killer has the strength to break into the Mu Jia's residence to Sin ate her, and then this man's strength is at least at the initial stage of Spirit King. But this person when faced with Jiu Yi is as weak as a small ant. At this point the killer felt unparalleled fear. The opposite person is the none other than the Night Prince, under this man's hand, and to escape is undoubtedly a luxury. At this point, the killer's entire arm has completely turned into a white bone. Mu Qian suddenly shouted. Jiu Yi, wait. Don't kill him yet. This is the sweetest chapter I've read so far. Red Heart, isn't Jiu Yi the best when it comes to planning a date? The Lord is poisoned. The smell of this sin is very similar to the ones who wanted to kill her in the wild forest. The only difference is that unlike the 3 people who are rookies, this person is considered as one of the top to possess the strength of a Spirit King. Mu Qian directly asked. Since you failed to kill me, then just be honest. Who sent you? Which organization are you from? The cold sweat on the killer's back penetrated his clothes. He grits his teeth and said. Even if this one is an sin, this one still abides by our rules. I can't swish. The sin suddenly spit out a poisonous needle towards Mu Qian's direction. Water shield. Mu Qian hastily avoided. Afterwards, she threw her own poison needle towards the man and it pierced through his skin. If you don't answer my questions, I'll make sure you experience pain that you'll wish to be killed instead. His final move was foreseen by Mu Qian, now that there is some kind of poison inserted in his body. The overwhelming pain finally broke the sin's will. Arg! He screamed, and his eyes turned completely white. Mu Qian coldly asked. Say, who sent you to sin ate this lord? Ouyang's eldest daughter, Ouyang Wei. Ouyang Wei surely doesn't know when to give up. Then, tell me which organization do you belong? Yan Luo Mang. TN, the translated version would be, King of H.E.L.'s Union. LoveLore isn't a group that belongs in the Purple Moon Kingdom, instead it is a famous say nation group from a neighboring kingdom. In order to kill Mu Qian, Yang Wei even hired foreign sins. They've already got what they wanted to know. Jiu Yi acted swiftly. The sin, who didn't even have the time to scream, instantly turned into white bones and disappeared without a trace. Mu Qian lowered her head and prepared to pick up the poison needle that the killer had just used, but Jiu Yi caught her wrist first. Mu Qian let out a smile. Jiu Yi, don't worry. Poison of this caliber can't harm me. The smile of the woman in front of his eyes is a bit of confusing but filled with charm. She is very confident in her control of poison and knowledge in medicine. The light that flows through the bottom of her eyes seems to dissolve the doubts Jiu Yi is feeling. Jiu Yi's pair of icy blue eyes is getting deeper. In a while he gently released Mu Qian's wrist. Mu Qian picked up the poison needle and observed it carefully. LoveLore's poison. They better improve this or this lord will send them a cart full of deadly poison as a gift. In her past life, there are also numerous groups who wanted to take her life. As a result, she directly sent a plane full of deadly poison to each of their headquarters as retribution. Since then, no sins or whatsoever group of imbeciles dared to take over the task of killing the ghost doctor. At this time, another black figure flashed and kneeled on the ground. Lord! We made a grave mistake, please punish us. We did not realize that there is a killer that sneaked in and let the Lord be frightened. Mu Qian waved her hand and said. I do not blame you, besides, his strength is much higher than yours. It seems that I really need to speed up the Shadow's breakthrough to Marshal and Spirit King. Mu Yi was helpless. He and his brothers are stuck in the peak of the 9th stage master for a long while now. If making a breakthrough to Marshal or Spirit King is so easy, then in the whole Purple Moon Kingdom, one can see enough upon taking a walk outside their home. Lord! Lord! We have great news. Mu Er, who was in charge of gathering intelligence, suddenly rushed over. Mu Yi stood up and knocked Mu Er's head. Mu Er! Be proper when reporting to our Lord. Sorry. Mu Er bends his one knee and reported. Lord, we obtain news regarding the moon jade orchid and amber flower. Really? Mu Qian was excited. These two herbs are the most important ingredients that can cure her little uncle's eyes. As long as she procures these two herbs, refining the medicine will absolutely succeed. Where? Mu Er said. Lord, the two herbs are located in the Medicine King's Valley, to be precise, it's in the hands of the Medicine King himself. On the other hand, Jiu Yi did not say anything but only prepared himself to leave. Mu Qian saw him and suddenly shouted. Jiu Yi, wait. I know it may sound rude but I don't need your help on this. I have a plan. Although Jiu Yi did not say anything, Mu Qian can already guess what he is about to do and it's quite simple actually. Jiu Yi intends to immediately kill the Medicine King and grab the two herbs to give to her. Even if Jiu Yi does it for her without asking for anything in return, Mu Qian would refuse because she doesn't want to owe him too much. After all, the ghost doctor who lives before never owes someone. If someone wanted to ask for her help she would always ask for something in return, vice versa. She is certain that debt of gratitude is the hardest thing to pay back. However, she still doesn't know why this powerful person is doing a lot for her without asking for anything in return and her debts just keeps on piling up. In the present, Mu Jia can fully stand firm without relying on others. She can now solve her own problems and she absolutely doesn't want to involve Jiu Yi any further. As a result, Jiu Yi did not leave while Mu Yi and Mu Er retreated to the side. The shadows are all informed with the Night Prince's behavior towards their lord. At most, this prince will only show himself when the lord is alone, and surprisingly, he would listen to her every word. Our lord is really awesome. Mu Qian said. Mu Yi, spread this news. Say that I was ambushed tonight and someone poisoned me. Let the alchemists come and treat me. Yes, my lord. Even if he had no idea on what kind of game she's playing this time, all of the shadows would only follow her every command. Mu Qian finished laying her orders to Mu Yi and Mu Er. She looked at the person beside her and said, I want to rest, you can go back first. You're poisoned, I'll accompany you. Jiu Yi coldly said. But I am clearly not poisoned. A long black line appeared on Mu Qian's forehead. You said it yourself. With Jiu Yi's attitude, Mu Qian resigned to her fate. Mu Qian walked towards her bed and reluctantly said, Fine. Stay if you want, but I will go to sleep. Jiu Yi waited until Mu Qian fell asleep before leaving. In the next day, news that the Mu Jia's lord is badly poisoned and in need of a great alchemist had spread in the whole Purple Moon Kingdom. When Yuzei came to know about it, he sloppily dressed himself and rushed inside the Mu Jia's residence. Leader. When he was about to go inside Mu Qian's room, Mu Yi pulled him. Gongzi, Lord is sleeping, if you wake her up, the consequences are very serious. Sleeping. A trace of dismay flashed on Yuzei's face. Mu Yi can already guess why Yuzei is acting like this. He said seriously. Gongzi, don't be ridiculous. Do you think someone is able to poison our lord? Yuzei stood still for a minute, and there was a glint in his eyes. Poisons and medicines are the leader's forte. If someone wanted to poison her, they are undoubtedly hovering between life and death. Tien, it means to suffer terribly, to be within an inch of one's life. It seems that I was too hasty. Yuzei sighed. Mu Yi said. Since you came to know the truth, be vigilant and continue to act. Lord already prepared a plan. Yes. As for the third master, Mu Wushuang, he actually guessed everything right. In fact, he added another condition to make it bigger. Soon enough, news came, and it was none other than Mu Wushuang's idea. The board outside states. For the alchemist who can cure sheer, Mu Wushuang will give anything you want. Mu Wushuang even let out a detailed description of Mu Qian's condition for the alchemists who wanted to try. This third master seems to love his niece so much that he wanted to save her at all costs. Although all the famous alchemists wanted to get a reward from the prosperous Mu Jia, upon reading the poison's description, they all shook their heads. This old man doesn't have a clue what kind of poison is this. Is there really such a poison? I believe no one could cure it. Ah. I hope the Mu Jia's lord won't suffer so much from this. Language, come on. What the hell is this? Is this even the right word? Ha. O-G-O-D. Help me with English. I can't English, no more. P.S. Mu Qian is really a dense MC, same level with Baccarina. Number 1 Bandit. The condition of Mu Jia's lord was considered hopeless, that's why even the royal family began to move. Xianyuan Li Tian with several alchemists went to visit Mu Qian Shi. Only alchemists are permitted to go inside. Naturally, Xianyuan Li Tian was stopped at the gates by the shadows. Soon after, the group of alchemists from different factions came out, shaking their heads and behaving as if there is truly no way to cure the Mu Jia's lord. That Ned woman is finally dying. Xianyuan Li Tian confirmed his information, and there was a glimmer of joy in his eyes. For Xianyuan Tian Mu Qian, she was probably the most detestable person he ever met. She even dared to withdraw from their engagement, then throw him out while he's lying inside the jade coffin to parade in the streets. Even at the palace, Mu Qian continued on humiliating him like she never loved him before, and if that's not enough, she also threatened his life and extorted a grand sum of 1,000,000 gold taels to exchange for his life. Those vile things she had done, he remembers it all. If she really ends up dead, then how happy could he be? But how come, deep inside, he can feel a little bit of regret? That arrogant woman that shines in her purple dress, even if she is an insolent woman, is she really going to die easily like this? When Xianyuan Tian left, it was the group of Xianyuan Shang's turn to visit next. Together with his own groups of alchemists, they have come to check Mu Qian personally. At this time, Xianyuan Shang's face is still pale. From the day he was utterly defeated by Mu Qian, added with the strangest illness he experienced, how can he be okay? The only reason he forced himself to come here is to determine whether that insolent woman will breathe her last breath. To try and sabotage him like that, she deserves to die. In a while, just like the other groups, Xianyuan Shang's chief alchemist also declares that Mu Qian will never recover from the poison inside her body. Xianyuan Shang fell at ease with his subordinate's words. This woman, in the midst of his perfect life, spilled a stain that he can't undo no matter what. Even if she met death 100 times, it will never be enough. Ha ha ha. That's great news. That bitch is finished. Ouyang Wei laughed like a madman. Why poison though? Isn't it better for the sins to kill her off immediately? Even if she knew Mu Qian she was about to die, Ouyang Wei still refused to believe that a mere poison would end Mu Qian's life. Ouyang Ju said. It must be that Mu Fengyun left a lot of life-saving things for Mu Qian, letting her life to prolong for a bit. But that would eventually run out, and with how lethal Yanluo Meng's poison is, she will never escape death. In addition to the royal family and the Ouyang clan, the happiest people were none other than the elders of the Mu Jia. If they can, they would immediately set off some fireworks to display how happy they feel with this news. After a long while, the final alchemist who wanted to diagnose Mu Jia's lord finally left. The so-called poisoned lord suddenly opened her eyes and listened to Mu Yi's report. The corner of her mouth can't help but turn upward from those people's stupidity. Ha! Those old badgers didn't even try to hide their actions now. When this lord comes back healthily as ever, won't they cry their eyes out in regret? At the end of the day, news that no one can cure Mu Qian in the Purple Moon Kingdom spread like a wildfire, and as a result, the third master, Mu Wuxuang, ordered his men to take his niece to the Medicine King's Valley in hope to find the medicine she needs. The person living there is the Medicine King that does not belong to any kingdom. Rumors say that he is very mysterious and also has a strange temper. In order to seek medical treatment from him, one must meet extreme trials first before he agrees to treat them. Are you sure? Ouyang Ju touched his chin and said. So they're planning on sending her to the Medicine King. That's really courageous of Mu Wuxuang, don't you think so? Hee hee. We mustn't let Mu Qian reach the Medicine King's Valley. Ouyang Ju's eyes are full of mirth. In the next day, Mu Qian embarked on her journey towards the Medicine King's Valley. On the surface, it only appears like Mu Qian's carriage is only accompanied by 10 people, but in fact, the 99 shadows are all keeping an eye on her from the side. By taking this opportunity, not only did she manage to leave the kingdom in an inconspicuous way, but also had the chance to personally get the herbs that can definitely cure her little uncle's eyes. Killing 2 birds with 1 stone. However, Mu Qian, she did not expect that when she was about to reach the city gate, a man inside his own regal carriage would appear. Mu Qian was surprised. She shouted. Jiu Yi. How come you are here? To accompany you. Jiu Yi slowly said, then without any words flew out of his carriage to sit beside Mu Qian, comfortably leaning his body on Mu Qian's soft couch. Mu Qian's mouth is twitching. She already said that night that there is no need for him to accompany her on her journey to the Medicine King's Valley. However, she knew that even if she tries to reason with this ice block, he would not move an inch from his seat, so she can only go with the flow for now. The Mu Jia's lord, together with the Night Prince, made their way towards the Medicine King's Valley. Yet at the very moment they made their leave from the Purple Moon Kingdom, some people can't just wait to start causing problems. We don't want to kill all of you. Just hand over every valuable thing you've got in there and we'll let you off. Mu Yi covered his face with his hand, as if he could not believe that someone wanted to rob their lord in broad daylight. He even thought that these people are out of their minds. Bang! 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 This group of imbeciles is apparently lacking some strength. It ended even before the time it takes to drink a cup of tea come to an end. Mu Yi let out a sinister laugh. Give me all of your money. Just like what his lord used to say, this group went like lambs to the slaughter when they decided to rob them. The lord also said that he must remain vigilant at all times, especially now that they're all traveling far from home. With their reputation alone, bandits would always come and go for the purpose of robbing the most prosperous lord of the Purple Moon Kingdom. The bandits cried their eyes out. This is a mistake. Isn't it us that is supposed to rob you guys? How can you even ask money from us? Mu Yi said fiercely. Cut this CRP. Surrender your money or die. Eventually, they gave up everything they had. This group of bandits even admired the way the shadows handled them swiftly. Although the Mu Jia's wealth are coveted by different people, it does not mean that these guardians of Mu Qian she doesn't have enough strength to fend them off. Obviously, there are still smart people who sent people with the strength of spirit and martial king. It doesn't matter who, for their lord, the shadows are willing to fight for her even if it cost their lives. Another explosion take place. The battle at this time is in full swing and another group of powerful bandits appear. Amidst the fight, someone shouted. Mu Jia's lord is in that carriage. Seize her first. Let's see how they'll act after. Haha. Yes. Mu Qian's mouth cannot help but twitch with that man's words. These guys are so bad at picking places. They don't have any clue that the safest place is the farthest from her location. She's confident that if these bandits knew who's inside this carriage, they wouldn't even dare to move beyond 1 kilometer near her. Despite the situation, she never intended to ask for Jiu Ye's help. Swish! Countless poison needles flew out. Mu Qian reached her hand out and swiftly sprinkled another poisonous powder around the carriage. Thud! As a result, few martial masters and martial king that are planning to jump on top of Mu Qian's carriage to escape the deadly poisons below all failed. When they landed, their bodies started to get stiff, completely unaware of what is going on. After a while, the shadows all tied the remaining bandits. Mu Er laughed and said, "Your strength is good. I'm sure that you've collected a lot of precious things from other people, right? Now, spit them all out." Cough. Some of the bandits coughed a mouthful of blood. Is this really the nouveau riche clan they've heard about? How come they act more like bandits compared to them? Along the way, the shadows continued to face a lot of bandits who wanted to rob them first. Sure enough, Mu Qian's guess is right and they have earned a lot of money during this trip. Medicine King's Valley is located at the east side of the Purple Moon Kingdom. It is not far from the western domed mountain range, which stretches all over the snow continent. After 7 days on the road, Mu Qian and the gang will almost reach the Medicine King's Valley soon. Because the Medicine King's Valley is remote and there aren't any close towns nor villages, Mu Qian and the others chose to camp instead. The night is dark due to the clouds obstructing the moon's light. A cold wind came and it's definitely during this time is the best opportunity to kill someone. Rustle. With a flick of a sleeve, dozens of figures suddenly slipped down from the surrounding trees with weapons on their hands. Kill. A cold and indifferent voice gave an order. LOL Mui and the other shadows are definitely the best in this chapter. Omega. The Ghost Doctor Way. If we're making a comparison, the first groups did it for the sake of money while these people are only here for the kill. Mui coldly asked. Who are you guys? Mui and the other shadows knew that these people in front of them are a lot stronger, that's why they'd already prepared the Lord's secret weapon earlier. Humph. You're gonna die anyway, so what's the use knowing our names? The person who seems to be the leader spoke haughtily. Afterwards, this group of people started to attack them. Those who did not enter the realm of the spirit or martial king yet came to deal with these sins and had suffered a great loss. Even if weaklings like you are good, facing someone with absolute strength will only lead to your deaths. Swish. Suddenly, the remaining shadows jumped out. A total of 99 shadows surround the sins. Mui shouted. Brothers, get on formation. The expression on the sins leader face changed dramatically. How is this possible? Mujia's 99 shadows are all here. Even with the disparity on their strengths, the sins are having difficulty dealing with the shadows. Especially with poisonous gas and secret weapons aimed at them. Unless she's sure to win, Mu Qian won't do anything reckless, especially if it involves the lives of her subordinates. The shadows recalled the time when Mu Qian straightforwardly said that they're all weak. Yes. Compared to the spirit and martial king in front of them, they are all considered weak. Without having enough strength, they are unable to protect the Lord they wanted to serve. But even if that's the case, until the last drop of their blood remains, they will fight till the end. Rumble. Plop. During this battle, the shadows were all in a miserable state. Even though they had a great advantage on numbers, with the opponent's strength, the gap is just too big. They're not strong enough. This time, a purple figure jumped out from the carriage. Rumble. In every corner, a black fog burst out. In this thick fog, countless poisons were thrown towards the sin's side. Hack. Hack. The group of sins started to cough vehemently. They can feel that every chi in their body is slowly disappearing and their bodies are getting stiff. The leader among the sins shouted badly. Everyone, retreat. This fog is poisonous, we must get back immediately. After being poisoned, their strength is not good as before. He was sure that even if they continue to fight, they can still kill these shadows. But what scares him the most is the repercussion in their body afterwards. He can tell that they would all lose their cultivation in the end of this bout. He won, let the top powerhouses of their group be buried along with this clan. Yes. While they were retreating, Mu Qian also ordered. We'll have to withdraw for now. We can't stay in this place for too long. On a much safer place, all injured shadows were gently put down. Suddenly, Mu Qian heard Mui shouting all of a sudden. Mu-san. Mu-san was broken all over, even his internal organs are at risk. Shut up. A purple figure hastily walked towards Mu-san. A needle was directly inserted through his heart. Mu Yi's eyes were wide open. He hurriedly asked. Lord. How is he? Rest assured. I'm still here. I won't let him die. With Mu-san's present condition, even if he eats a lot of healing pellet he won't recover at all. By piercing his heart with a certain medicine, it was the fastest way to help him recover from his severe injuries. After treating Mu San, Mu Qian she once again checked on the other shadow, pulling them back from H.E.L.L. If King Yama really wants to take their lives, he must answer to the ghost doctor first. Mu Qian ordered. Hurry, take this medicine and let the others drink it, we must leave before those sins return. Yes, Lord. Although some of Mu Qian's shadows had lost consciousness, luckily she managed to keep their lives in the end. They've been on the road all night. Afterwards Mu Qian continued working on for the rest of the day. Finally, Mu Qian and the rest arrived in the Medicine King's Valley. Forward. Follow this lord's pace. At this point, Mu Qian and the others can't act rashly, especially with the illusions surrounding the perimeter. If any of them were to be caught in this array, they will be trapped in here forever and die. Mu Qian used her contract with the Chaos Zhejiang Pavilion to contact Ah Ting. She asked. Ah Ting, are you sure this is the right way? Ugly woman, if you don't believe me then go on your own. I'll bet that all of you would be stuck here for a month. Ah Ting angrily shouted. Suddenly, countless ferocious beasts charged towards them. The shadows hurriedly dodged and encircled Mu Qian. Protect the Lord. Mu Qian said. Stop. Though these beasts look strong, they aren't real. These are all an illusion set to trap us up. Clear your minds and it will automatically disappear. Hearing Mu Qian's words, they no longer panic. When a violent beast rushed towards their direction, upon clearing their minds, these beasts instantly vanish. Ah Ting smiled. Ugly woman, not bad. Look, another magic array. Be careful, the next magic array is able to make you fall asleep. We must quickly find the eye, otherwise all of you would die. Ah Ting quickly said. When Mu Qian stepped inside the array, Ah Ting immediately found the eye. That side. Mu Qian swiftly made a shot. Water charge. A loud explosion filled the area. The magic array was completely destroyed by Mu Qian's attack. Mu Yi and the others are thrilled. Our Lord is too powerful. This is like a child play to her, look. That's natural. This is our Lord we're talking about after all. Mu Er proudly said. Don't be too happy, there are still a lot of checkpoints we needed to clear after this. Mu Qian she poured cold water on them. Listening to the instructions of Ah Ting, Mu Qian said one after another, she squatted. This Medicine King Valley is even bigger than this lord's properties, so how come there aren't any temples or even a place we could eat in here? TSK. What a dry place. Boom. When they broke the last defensive formation, they finally arrived at the legendary Medicine King's home. A quiet place with beautiful scenery, birds and flowers welcomed them. It can even be compared to a paradise is what they thought. Suddenly, a burst of fragrant medicine smell came. Mu Qian felt excited. Mu Yi has some doubts. We broke the last array so the drug king should know it, right? But how come he still doesn't show himself? Afterwards, Mu Qian and the others gather in front of a small courtyard. In a while, inside one of the rooms, a fire started and black smoke comes out. Fire! Mu Yi exclaimed. Did the Medicine King failed on refining? Mu Qian said. No matter what the reason is, we have to hurry and put out the fire. If he ends up dead, where would I go to ask for the moon jade orchid and amber flower? Mu Qian called the water element using the water dragon ring. In a flash, a burst of water like a faucet began to sprinkle water in that room. The fire was quickly extinguished. Cough! Cough! At this time, a gray-faced person walked out of the room. His clothes were full of ashes and even the facial features are unrecognizable due to black coal on his face. He crawled out the room and found out that his Medicine King's Valley suddenly had hundreds of strangers. He then stood up slowly. A pair of eyes that is even darker than the panda's tried to look at Mu Qian and those guards behind her. He muttered. This is strange. Their strength is too weak, so how did they manage to get here safely? Is there a problem in that arrays that I didn't know of? Hey guys. Sorry for the delay. Many things happened this week and I kinda messed up on the upload schedule. This was supposed to be uploaded on Monday, so I don't know where it went wrong. Anyways, hope you enjoy reading this chapter. Who are you people? The man casually waved his hand and said. All things shall be done until I cleared this place first. Then with a flick of his sleeve, he left. Listening to the voice of this Medicine King, he seems rather young. Let's talk, who do you want me to save? Some time later, a sound of jade ring gently knocking on the door was heard, accompanied by a pleasant voice. Mu Qian turned her head and saw a young man coming inside the room where she stayed waiting. Skin as white as snow and thick eyebrows forming a crescent moon. His face really looks like a work of art. That pair of eyes looked seemingly calm, but there's a hint of hidden waves within. The wind gently blows his ink-black hair while his slender figure reveals his independence from the world outside, as if he can float in the clouds. Mu Qianxi and Mu Jia's shadows are all in a stupor. That man who was filled with charcoal on his face earlier has a transcendent temperament now, really surprised people's eyes. Mu Qian said. I'm not here asking for your help. I just want to ask two things from you. I want the moon jade orchid and amber flower. Jun Mo's pitch-black eyes flashed a hint of anger, he said. Look here, I only cure people from their illness and I'm definitely not selling some drugs. If you have no other purpose, leave my valley before I get angry. I will not go without my fulfilling my purpose. If you give me the moon jade orchid and amber flower, I'll give you whatever you want. In this Medicine King Valley of mine, I abide by my own rules. I can save your people, but I won't sell any drugs to you. Mu Qian smirked, she said. Save, you say? If you have the ability to cure dark burning poison, I'll let you save my people. Hearing a difficult poison being mentioned, Jun Mo froze, he said. Dark burning poison is considered as an ancient poison. Even a 9th grade medicine pill can't do anything about it. Even if I can refine a 9th grade successfully, I'm afraid it would only alleviate some of its symptoms and could not cure it completely. Mu Qian said. As long as you give me the moon jade orchid and amber flower, I could solve that poison immediately. That's not possible. Although these two herbs are indeed advanced, it can only help for the treatment of eye, but detoxifying the dark burning poison, it is simply a dream. Aren't you too short-sighted? Just say if you can't cure it. There's no need to say so much nonsense. Mu Qian retorted. Who are you calling short-sighted? Jun Mo angrily shouted. In the snow continent, if I claim I was the second, no one would dare to say they're first. How dare you say I'm short-sighted? Mu Yi and the others were paralyzed, although he has always heard the Medicine King's name, but he never thought that he is powerful to this extent. Mu Qian can see that this Medicine King is a man of his words, arrogant and stubborn. It is impossible for her to ask him to break his own set of rules. However, she has another way. Since you are so disaffected, do you dare to compete with me? If you lose, give me those two things. If I lose. Mu Qian pondered. She can't think of any condition in which may tempt him to accept her challenge. This guy is not short in money, and aside having too much money, there are no other precious things she can offer him at this moment. Jun Mo interrupted her thought and said. If you lose, I will make an arrogant girl like you serve as my servant girl to perform physical labor such as chopping firewood. Mu Yi was furious. He shouted. You are impudent. Sure enough, there is another person who is angrier compared to the shadows. Murderous intent filled the air and one word loomed on their heads. Death. At this time, Junimo felt the danger. Junimo exudes all of his strength to block against the murderous intent heading towards him. He turned to look at Jiu Yi, who wearing a dark mask and was standing silently beside Mu Qianxi the whole time. That pair of icy blue eyes that looks out of this world were extremely cold and dangerous. Mu Qian felt that the medicine's king's strength is stronger than her little uncle's. If her guess is right, his strength must be at the king's order. He only looks at 20 at most, such young age has this kind of strength. Junimo bit his teeth, he indignantly said. Could it be you want to rob me in the first place? Ha! Before I die I will destroy those 2 herbs first. It will then be impossible for you guys to have the chance to procure it again. Although, they were in the middle of nowhere and Junimo's strength is at the peak of Spirit King, he felt that he can never win against that man. Mu Qian asked. How about this instead? If I lose, I'll help you take care of your medicine field for 3 months. Junimo shakes his head and said. No, if you lose, take this dangerous man away from my Medicine King's Valley. I'm afraid if I spend some more time with him, I'll have nightmares. Mu Qian agreed instantly. All right. Junimo asked. How do we compete though? Mu Qian smirked. Let's do something simple, okay? Simple. I will inject a poison in you. If you can detoxify it then you win. If you can't then you lose. A sly look flashed on Mu Qian's eyes. After seeing the Medicine King's true strength, Mu Qian doesn't have 100% certainty that she could win. If a young man like him reaches the peak of Spirit King and gained the plea of the Medicine King while hiding in this small remote place, this person is surely extraordinary. Junimo said. Good. I'm not afraid of you. In the whole snow continent, there is no poison I do not know. Mu Qian smiled and said. Then is it all right to start now? Afterwards, she approached Junimo and inserted a poison on his wrist using a needle. Junimo said that there is no poison he doesn't know in the snow continent, but her poison does not come from the snow continent but from another world where she is the renowned ghost doctor. What are you? Junimo looked puzzled at the thin drug needle of hers. The needle went directly into his skin and he felt a trace of liquid entering his veins. In a few moments, Junimo felt the poison started to scatter inside his body. He can't even distinguish what kind of poison she used. Moreover, isn't poison supposed to be drink first in order for it take effect? With just a small needle, how would it work exactly? Junimo rushed into his alchemy room, he mustn't lose. Mu Qian reminded him. I'll give you 1 night's time. If you can't detoxify it by tomorrow morning, then you lose. Mu Qian turned and said to the shadows. Tonight, you all must rest properly. We'll have to go to the edge of the western domed mountains tomorrow and there's no time for us to relax by then. Yes. Although all of the shadows don't have an idea why they have to go there, they will follow her every words unconditionally. The Medicine King is busy detoxifying the poison in his body. He had no time to arrange their accommodation, so Mu Qian and Mu Jia's 99 shadow can only camp in the Medicine King's Valley. Mu Qian took a glance at Jiu Yi standing quietly beside her. She couldn't help but ask. Jiu Yi, it seems you're idle with our whole journey. Did you really have to follow me to this Medicine King's Valley? It's boring, isn't it? Jiu Yi nodded. For him, being in the Purple Moon country is too boring compared to where he is now. As a matter of fact, in order to keep him satisfied inside the Purple Moon Kingdom, the Emperor himself throws many boring things to him that result to his bad mood instead. Even the Medicine King whose strength is at the Spirit King is afraid of you. How strong are you really? Who are you exactly? Mu Qian is a certified con man. Poor Junimo Shi, another innocent soul will be captured by our heroine. Special innate skill. Jiu Yi softly brushed aside the hair on Mu Qian's forehead. As the gentle breeze sways, a pair of icy blue eyes looks at Mu Qian's eyes and said sincerely, "No matter whom is, I won't let anyone hurt you." Tien, degree, Jiu Yi is so smooth I could easily slide back and forth. Kaya. Four eyes are staring at each other. Mu Qian can tell that those icy blue eyes had a gentle look now compared to Jiu Yi's usual self. Looking at such a pair of eyes, Mu Qian's heart beats faster. Arg! What kind of poison is this? At this time, Junimo rushed out shouting, breaking the peaceful mood between the two. Actually, Junimo, who's twisting in pain all over his body, wanted to grab Mu Qian immediately, but when he saw Jiu Yi glaring at him, he was afraid to say anything. Mu Qian was the first to ask. "Oh. So do you admit your defeat?" "I admit defeat. I admit defeat. Quickly tell me, what poison is this? How did you configure it?" In a few moments, the Medicine King, Junimo, closed his mouth to let Mu Qian speak. He was not concerned with the detoxification but with the poison itself, making him above the rest. Such curiosity is worthy for the Medicine King. Mu Qian said, "Since you lost, I won't allow you to renege. I'm Junimo. Never in my life did I take back what I've said. This poison is originally not from here. It can only paralyze the nerves in your brain, so won't able to move your body." Mu Qian slowly said. "Paralyze the nerves. What does that mean?" Junimo asked a good question. "The nerve paralysis is..." Junimo listened seriously to Mu Qian's detailed explanation. Mu Qian even took out the cure for the poison, but contrary to one's expectations, Junimo flatly refused. Junimo said, "I won't accept it. How about you refine it again and I'll watch instead?" Mu Qian raised an eyebrow and asked, "Oh. Are you sure you can hold on till the end?" With every step Junimo make, he was aching all over. But despite the pain, he simply nodded and said, "Of course. Did you forget who I am? I'm the Medicine King." Mu Qian looked at him and saw that he's fine, she said. "Good. Take me where you refine. Here, let me guide you." Refining medicines became a common topic for two people. With such an exciting subject, Mu Qian clearly forgets Jiu Yi and walked away with Junimo nonchalantly. That pair of icy blue eyes watched the two people go. In an instant, the whole air surrounding him condensed into ice. The shadows couldn't help but shudder. This chill, it's horrible. "Oh, so this is how it's done. Whoa. How did you do that? I didn't think that these two herbs can be mixed." For an outsider's point of view, the immortal Medicine King, who was held by the Ma S to be a reclusive person, was cheering for Mu Qian like a child in general. At the same time, the Night Prince's aura is getting more terrible. Mu Yi felt that if the Medicine King didn't have such astonishing strength, he would be a white skeleton in the next moment. Now, the poison inside Junimo was finally resolved, and he also learned a lot about the poisons that are able to paralyze the nerves. Lastly, he restored his transcendent appearance. "You want the moon jade orchid and amber flower, right? Then, come and follow me." Junimo turned around and guided Mu Qian Shi into his own medicine garden. Junimo pointed at the Ma's Civ garden and said, "If you are able to locate the moon jade orchid and amber flower before dawn, I will give it to you." The medicinal field of the Medicine King was comprised of thousands of herbs, and this guy does not seem to divide it by categories either. Everything was mixed together. Finding the two herbs she's looking for in that giant kind of a mess, it would take a whole lot of time. Mu Qian curled up her lip and said. Mu Yi, take the medicine king when you go out. I don't want to search for the herbs with someone interrupting me. Yeah, right. I don't need you asking me to get out. I'll go to bed first. He was tired dealing with Mu Qian's poison for a whole night. Zhu Nemo voluntarily left, but Mu Qian still ordered Mu Yi and the others to watch him. And when all of them were gone, there was only Jiu Yi at her side. Looking at this large medicine field, Mu Qian smiled as she muttered to herself. Medicine King, is this the best you can do? I'll make sure you'll regret asking me here. This medicine field, I'll take it all. Mu Qian covered the whole medicine field with her spiritual, then she put it inside the Chaos Zhejiang Pavilion's SPCE. If it's inside that SPCE, finding every kind of herbs would be simple. A small orchid and a brownish round flower appeared in Mu Qian's hands. Finally found it. A large medicine field disappeared in front of the two, but in the eyes of Xianyuan Jiuyi, not even a hint of surprise was seen. Mu Qian smiled. The Eternal Pavilion, Chaos Zhejiang Pavilion inside her body, is one of her biggest secrets. But for Jiuyi, it was no secret at all. From the first time they'd met, this guy already knew that the Eternal Pavilion was inside her body. Jiuyi turned to look at Mu Qian and seriously said. Even though Chaos Zhejiang Pavilion is quite formidable, it isn't the strongest eternal artifact. When you get stronger, replace him. Mu Qian's mouth started to twitch. Although she had no idea how strong Ting is, the fact that he is an eternal artifact makes him worth enough compared to other treasures in this world. Is there any reason for him to say that? Why? Mu Qian asked directly. Although Ting has a sharp mouth, arrogant, and is also short-tempered, he never caused Mu Qian any accident. Besides, they are bound with a contract and she is not willing to part with Ting yet. Who would have thought that this ice block would only say 4 words? Too weak and common. Arg! Let me out. I'm going to fight him. At the same time, Ting is shouting incessantly, wanting to rush out to prove his strength to Jiuyi. How dare he say I am weak? Mu Qian helplessly said. It's true that we're weak now, but we will surely become stronger in the future. But what she really wanted to say was, isn't it you who tried to rob him from me first? She wanted to live longer, so she kept her mouth shut. Ting is already part of her life. In addition to little uncle, these two people are the most she's concerned with. Ting knew how Mu Qian values him, he muttered. At least there's still conscience in you, ugly woman. When Jiuyi saw how Mu Qian defends Ting, suddenly, an oppressive and terrible aura leaks out from his body. Mu Qian's pupil shrinks from the terror. Ting shouted. This man is simply psychotic. Ugly woman, don't be scared. I won't let him harm even a strand of your hair. Jiuyi suppressed himself from hurting Mu Qian. He clamped his arm and said. I wanted him because he was a little useful. That pair of icy blue eyes is turning into deep blue at this moment, looking deeply at Mu Qian as if engraving her at the very bottom of his soul, he slowly said. Now, I want to have. In the next second, Jiuyi's words came to a standstill along with the world. Everything looks like it was paused for a moment. Ting hastily shouted. Ugly woman. Finish him off quickly. First, stab him 100 times, then put your poisons inside of him. We'll see if he can still survive by then. Mu Qian froze but quickly regained her thoughts. Ting, it's you. You learn how to stop time. Nonsense, this is my innate skill. Hurry up. I only recovered a little bit of my strength, so I can't hold this for a long time. If you won't finish this man, sooner or later a scourge will happen. Dare to say I'm weak, let him suffer. Let's see who the real loser is then. Ah, Ting's fury is not subsiding. Hey dear readers. I'm still on business trip, but it's my birthday today, so here's a new chapter to celebrate it. Jiu Yi is having a mood swing, maybe it's the time of the month. One moment it was sweet, then bam. The suspense. The drama. The horror. Oh please help poor little Jiu Yi. Ah, Ting is really going for the kill. P.S. Next chapter will be posted on the first day of June. Hope I can update one chapter a day by then. The moonlight's pretty good. Mu Qian, left with no choice, said. Ah, Ting, stop this already. Turn back the time. Why won't you do it? Don't you know how dangerous he is? Mu Qian lightly laughed, she said. Jiu Yi is not to blame here, you already knew that, right? Besides, even in his dangerous state, he didn't attack me and never did anything to hurt me. How could I just kill him? Arg! I'm so mad. Don't regret this later, okay? At this time, Mu Qian with a force was pulled into a cold hard embrace. Is very satisfied with your choice. He whispered in her ear, his low magnetic voice is filled with pleasure, listening to it was intoxicating. Mu Qian's mouth is twitching, she really wanted to smack Jiu Yi's head for him to stop. She doesn't have a clue why she's suffering this much for him either. Ah, Ting's skill is also to blame here, she's afraid that Jiu Yi have already recovered even before Ah Ting planned to turn back the time. If Mu Qian really did what that brat told her to do, she knew she's done for. Ah Ting was embarrassed. Said, with an apologetic tone, he said. My power is too little, I probably made a mistake on controlling time. Bowls. H.I.T. If you knew you're gonna fail, why did you ask me to do that in the first place? That was our only opportunity, if you missed that chance, later when you want to solve him, it will be too difficult to do so. Ah Ting also felt that his action this time is wrong. After saying this sentence he directly went to rest to restore his strength. That ice block man was so terrible that he could resist his skill to stop time. Some time later, Mu Qian, who's being held in the arms of someone, said. Ah Ting can be naughty at some times, but his nature is not bad. Jiu Yi's face once again became heavy, he said. Do not mention him in front of me. Sure. I'll never mention it again. Mu Qian readily agreed. Jiu Yi hugged her hard, as if to put her into his blood and bones. He muttered. Fortunately, you did not make the wrong choice. Jiu Yi, you helped me and protected me so many times. I won't harm you unless you harm me first. Even if you are very strong, once you've turned your back on me, I can be vicious and heartless to you. I assure you that these words of mine are true. Mu Qian seriously said. Although, the ghost doctor, Mu Qian, she is not a good person, she was always sincere when it comes to a person who holds goodwill to her. I know. Jiu Yi lowly said. Can you let me go first? Mu Qian struggled, his hand is even harder than steel, being pressed by this person is surely painful. Hold on for a moment. Look, isn't the moonlight here pretty good? Jiu Yi exclaimed, holding Mu Qian even tighter. Mu Qian, oblivious to his advances, looked up at the moon, she did not expect that this person can admire a night view. Mu Qian kept her posture for a long time until her body turned numb. When Jiu Yi noticed her being stiff and all, the Night Prince, who is very devoted on moon watching, is finally willing to let the person go. The next morning, a horrible scream woke the whole area. Ah! What happened to my medicine field? Where's my herbs? Junimo saw a bare field of medicine that almost made him faint on the spot. Mu Qian arrived at the scene and took out 2 flowers, acting innocent, she said. The 2 herbs that I want has been found. Thank you for your generosity, Medicine King. Junimo glared at Mu Qian. He shouted. Even if you have to find those 2 herbs, that doesn't mean that you can just clear up my medicine field. Return my medicine field this instant. Junimo really wants to rush forward to wipe that smile off her face. What are you saying? When I found these 2 herbs, I immediately left afterwards. How could I even move or destroy your medicine field with just one night? As expected, Junimo did not buy her words. He indignantly said. You are obviously the one who did it. Admit it. Mu Qian raised a brow. How can you accuse me without presenting evidence first? If you can't bear to give me these 2 herbs, you don't have to set me up for a crime that I didn't do. Junimo was too angry, he could vomit blood. You're totally insane. Mu Qian brushed him off and said. We found what we've come for, so we'll be going back. No need to send us off, we knew the way. Let's go. Mu Qian and the others quickly departed. Junimo feels that he can eat someone alive, he shouted. D-A-M-N. Get back here. We're not clear yet. Hey. I said stop. No matter how Junimo tried to shout, Mu Qian and the gang did not look back. In the end, Junimo decided to pick up his own belongings and catch up with them. He cursed her again and again. That wretched woman, this is the first time I've encountered someone like her. At this point, the mysterious immortal living in the Medicine King's Valley is acting like an old woman bitching in the streets. While chasing, Junimo in the side secretly muttered. From the Medicine King's Valley to the Western Domed Mountains, there is no town, so they can only camp outside. Burning up the bonfire at night, Mu Qian let them hunt some pheasants and hare. The main reason was they're not used to eating dried food and their stomachs are begging for some meat for quite a while now. When the shadows came back, Mu Qian took out various herbs and condiments. After thoroughly washing the meat, Mu Qian sprinkled pheasant pieces and hare's meat with spices, and then she brushed it with melted butter and placed it one by one around the bonfire to cook. A fragrant smell filled the area. Wait until the meat has been roasted to golden brown, sprinkle a little salt and she's done. The shadow's eyes are shining, one said. Our Lord is not only proficient in cultivation, alchemy and making money, she's also good at cooking. Before their Lord, some distance must always be kept. If she wanted to do something, she can order them anything whenever she pleases. But now, their Lord is personally cooking. Which Lord tried to cook for their subordinates like her? This can only mean that she's been caring towards her people and it made the shadows worship her more. In their heart, her position is much higher compared to the old Lord. You can cook it like I did or you can do it in your own way too. I'm sure either way would be fine. She dare not say it would be very tasty nor said it was the best. After all, Mu Qian often seeks out for herbs in forest and mountains. In order to fill her stomach, having this skill is essential. Mu Qian tore off a rabbit's leg and offered it to Jiu Yi sitting beside her. Try this. Although it's a little bit greasy, I hope you'll like it. Jiu Yi looked silently at the piece of meat in front of him. As a result, sound of someone's stomach growling was heard. Junimo tried to hide it by mimicking an owl. Hoot! 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 Mu Qian knew it was Junimo all along. Feeling annoyed, she shouted. Since you're hungry, why don't you come out now? How long do you want to hide yourself? Junimo appeared at once, his 2 eyes are shining at the roasted rabbit in Mu Qian's hand. He cheerfully said. I want to eat. Let me eat that one in your hand. Mu Qian, on the other hand, is contemplating how to compensate this guy. After all, she just ransacked his whole medicine field. Mu Qian thought it was okay to give him the rabbit's leg to make up for him even for a little. When she was about to hand the rabbit leg to Junimo, Surprisingly, Zhou Yi intercepted it. The dark figure, akin to a devil, quickly blocked Mu Qian from Junmo's view, took the rabbit's leg from her hand and slowly took a bite. Junmo is still frightened by this man, yet he can't control his anger towards him any longer. He gnashed his teeth and yelled. What is the meaning of this? You don't go too far. Even if you're too strong. You can't just grab someone's delicious meal like this. Why do I feel that the chapters are getting longer? Weird. Anyways, good luck to Junmo. Hope he can survive after this. Ha ha ha. After working non-stop for a month, I finally had the time to continue translating. Yes. You read that right, I just got back from a business trip. A really long trip. I'm exhausted and couldn't even open my eyes when I wake up this morning. Anyways, hope you enjoy reading this chapter. Describe a person who will eat very much. Do it yourself. Zhou Yi coldly glanced at him, clearly giving Junmo a warning. Tien, Zhou Ye's true words. My wifey's cooking is only for me. Junmo saw how possessive this eccentric man can be when it comes to the woman behind her. Junmo decided not to fight with him, he said. Fine, I'll roast something for myself. Besides, with different spices here, all of those roasted meat by the others also looks good to eat. Junmo with a new set of firewood started to cook for himself. Flick. A small flame came out from Junmo's hand. Mu Qian froze for a minute, she exclaimed. You possess the element of fire. Junmo said. Why, of course. If an alchemist doesn't have a fire element, the result will always be a step behind to others and the effects would be at all times limited. Only those who have fire element can reach the peak of refining medicine. However, Junmo shoots a glance at Mu Qian. You are considered as the abnormality from the norm. Your way of refining and knowledge in medicines is totally different compared to us. Mu Qian nodded, she said. It's exactly what you say. My way of refining isn't the same with you, but I assure you that regarding on gaining knowledge on alchemy, we're the same, but I can only use water element. Her love for medicine is deep. If she can't reach the pinnacle of alchemy due to some unforeseen reasons, it would really be a pity. Yet Junmo said. That's not true. Even if you have water element, there are other ways that you can use. After all, some things are not absolute. Mu Qian hurriedly asked. You have a way. Between heaven and earth there is spiritual qi. There are a variety of elements in which you and I can possess. After 1,000,000 of years, this world SPAWNS different kind of elemental spirits, including the fire spirits, water spirits, and so on. If you can tame a fire spirit, even if you do not have an affinity with the element of fire, you can become an excellent alchemist. Junmo slowly explained. However, seeing as you have the element of water, which is the worst nightmare for fire spirits, the possibility of forming a contract with them is extremely low. The corners of Junmo's mouth rose lightly. He felt glad to finally land a blow to this girl's ego. Is there no other way? Junmo seems to have not talked to someone for a long time, so he is very eager to answer Mu Qian's questions. Another way is to find the eternal God cauldron. The eternal cauldron itself is infused with a fire and water spirits. As long as you become the master of the eternal cauldron, then the fire spirit will easily surrender to you. While speaking, in Junmo's eyes flashed a dim light. Mu Qian remembered the time when she was watching someone in the SPCE of Ting. She definitely saw the man in that illusion using the eternal God cauldron while refining medicines. The highest grade cauldron, laughing at the heavens, the eternal God cauldron. No wonder Ting said it was the best if she could find it. She didn't think there is another reason for that. At this time, Jiu Yi walked in front of Mu Qian. He said, "In addition to the eternal God cauldron, there is one thing that can also help you," but he did not say. Every eternal artifact has its own elemental attributes. The water dragon God ring with its water element, and as for the element of fire you're lacking of, you will need to find the eternal sword. Jun Mo hastily retorted. The eternal God sword is only a legend, no one in this world found it yet. Telling her this is totally useless. Mu Qian was confused. She asked, Is it not the same with the eternal God cauldron? Why did you say that? Jun Mo's eyes drooped low. He said, "Because obtaining the eternal God cauldron is every alchemist's dream. I can't help but talk about it." Ah! Fire! Fire! Jun Mo, who's busy with chatting, completely forgotten the barbecue he's roasting. The result, the fire toasted his meat and a prairie fire had ignited. Mu Qian quickly raised her hand and shouted, "Water, come forth." Countless drops of water had fallen, finally putting the fire out, but that piece of rabbit completely turned black as a coal. Mu Qian asked, "Yesterday, your house had also caught fire. Don't tell me you're not refining medicine back then." "Of course not. How can a medicine king like me start a fire while refining? It was that troublesome cooking that always starts fire." Ha ha ha. Almost everyone choked while laughing upon hearing Jun Mo's answer. The medicine king can burn his house and even the forest when trying to cook. What a funny fellow indeed. In order not to let another accident happen again, Mu Qian gave half of her food to Jun Mo instead. Once Jun Mo saw the barbecues being handed to him, like a wolf pouncing on its prey, he quickly began to gobble it all up. One person continued to eat at least 7 times more of its weight. "Mu Qian's mouth is twitching," she said. "Even if you're the medicine king, eating so much will still upset your stomach." "I don't care. This haven't had meat for more than 10 years. Did you ever experience eating like an immortal would? No meat and no other food to eat aside from leaves, even the taste of rice I've already forgotten. It is a lish life, I tell you." While speaking, Jun Mo's eyes are tearing up. He then stretched out his hand and said, "I want more." Mu Yi, hearing such a tragic thing, cannot help but feel sad, so he gave Jun Mo another roasted rabbit. Ahem. Ahem. Mu Qian cleared her throat and asked, "Didn't people from all over come to seek medical treatment from you? Why did you not ask delicious food from them?" Jun Mo exclaimed, "Putting such a simple request will damage my reputation. So you've been strong for so many years. Wow." Mu Qian raised her thumb up to his incomparable determination. "Tian, I feel MQX is being sarcastic on this one. Ha." For the sake of keeping his face, he would rather eat some bland herbs for more than 10 years. What a dedication. Jun Mo continued to chew on the rabbit's leg. He cheerfully said, "I have this chance to eat meat today. I'm so happy. Tn must protect this cinnamon roll." Since Jun Mo finally had meat, he even forgot to cause troubles to Mu Qian. Every day, he continued waiting for meals. It seems like a living starving ghost has reincarnated. Eventually, they arrived at the periphery of the Western Domed Mountains. The Western Domed Mountain is considered as the largest mountain within the snow continent. Mu Qian said, "Upon entering this area, you'll all experience near-death experiences and suffer like you've never been before. Make every effort to keep yourself alive. Within a month, you can break through to Marshal and Spirit King." Mu Yi asked, "If we don't come back alive, no one would be left to protect you, Lord." "I'm afraid." Mu Qian cut his words and said, You will all come back alive and this will be the one protecting you guys, so quickly go inside. Yes. 99 shadows scattered throughout the forest, a whole new journey awaits them. Mu Qian muttered. A month later, even if some of them only had one last breath, I must bring them back here alive, no matter what. After that, Mu Qian also went in. At most, she can only handle second-ranked beast. She bear in mind that even a 9th-stage martial warrior was helpless against a 3rd-ranked beast. Throughout the forest, sounds of clash reverberates every day and night drained, famished and ceaselessly drinking various elixirs to cure their wounds. These are the shadows' condition inside. For their lord, even if their strength is still lacking, they would fight till the end. From the beginning to end, no matter how tired Mu Qian looks, Zhou Yi continued on watching her from afar, hiding his aura to avoid unnecessary confrontations. Zhu Nemo on the other hand is also hiding behind a tree. He puffs his cheeks and whispered to himself. This woman, why is she so desperate? Can't she see? This training is certainly not good for them. Behemoth, wooer, aren't you bored waiting for them every day? Mu Wushuang, no me, you're really a worrywart you know. Mu Wushuang, me, do you miss your niece that much? Mu Wushuang, yes. Me, why do I feel like I'm talking to Zhou Yi? Are you sick? Quickly put my hand on his forehead. Me, what the? You're burning up, Mu Wushuang. I'm fine. Me, the heck? You're nowhere fine. Quick, let's go inside, Mu Wushuang. I said I'm fine. Me, are you out of your mind? You're sick. Why did you insist on waiting outside for this long? Mu Wushuang, Sheer, I need to wait for Sheer. Me, don't you know she would be much sadder if you keep this up? Do you think she would be pleased if she saw you waiting for her out here in the cold? Mu Wushuang, me, see, I'm right aren't I? Here, I'll help you get inside. Wrap it up to eat later, Zhou Yi murmured. Because wanted you to be strong, I won't intervene. Only when you're strong enough to fend yourself will I be able to stay calm after all. For a whole month, Mu Qian and the shadows continued fighting inside the forest. Their whole body is covered with different beasts' blood. Mu Qian forbid herself to use any kind of poison, using only their spiritual and martial arts. All of them naturally enhanced their fighting skills. Since she arrived in a different world, she must quickly learn to adapt in this world. Poisons are her trump cards, but being conceited that it would always work is also no good. Loud explosions continued to echo inside the forest, adding earth tremors to the vicinity. After numerous battles, Mu Qian and the shadows indeed grew stronger. Zhu Nemo was surprised. He exclaimed. Whoa! These people sure are resilient. Only a month had just said, yet look at them, ready to break through at any moment now. Then his eyes went towards Mu Qian's body. This girl is about to break through too. The peak of 9th stage spirit warrior and the peak of 9th stage martial warrior, two kinds of power are continuously flowing inside her meridians like a river are about to gush out. Boom! Mu Qian finally crossed that threshold and successfully made her breakthrough. A stupefied Zhu Nemo said. A double breakthrough. Ho, how is this even possible? This little girl is a monster. A month of iron training, Mu Qian went outside the western domed mountains first to wait for the shadows to come out. Lord Mu. The first one to come out was Mu Yi. He's got a couple of deep, visible bone wounds in his body. From top to bottom, he looked like the person who just climbed out from a river of blood. Mu Qian hastily said. Glad to have you back. Hurry up and have a rest while I heal your body. I'm sure I will be very busy with you lot. Despite of her worry, Mu Qian is still very happy. Yes, my lord. Lord, the next one said. Once every while, a shadow slowly comes out from the forest. Some of them are alone while others carry their brothers at their backs. Mu Qian hurriedly applied remedies towards the seriously wounded first, improving their vitality and health. But they are far too many for Mu Qian to handle alone. She can't help but feel angry towards her negligence on this matter. Mu Qian shouted. Junimo, you are also an alchemist. Stop watching and help me cure them already. Swish. Countless drug needles were thrown towards the shadow's body. Junimo felt very surprised with this incredible event. The needles went straight into the hearts of these people, their lives whose hanging by a thread earlier are now back. With their hearts beating normally again, it will let them know how good it is to feel alive again. Even a 9th grade medicinal pellet does not necessarily have this effect, but she clearly did it. He watched Mu Qian's every movement, determined to solve this mystery. He began to assist Mu Qian on curing these people too. After all, it was a cardiovascular agent. If he can't familiarize with it sooner, he could accidentally kill someone. This one's injury is more serious than the last one. If it wasn't for Junimo lending a hand, Mu Qian won't be able to save them in time. Have a rest. After a while we're all going back to the Medicine King's Valley. They were hurt too much at this time. Once a 3 or 4th rank beasts appear, it will surely cost their lives. Recuperating in the Medicine King's Valley is their best option for now. Junimo shouted. You want to stay at my place? Why don't you ask for my permission first? While we're staying there, we will be the one providing your food. Is that all right? Mu Qian softly said. Sure enough, Junimo readily agreed. Sure. Take your time resting in my place then. After a little bit of recovery, they rushed at full speed towards the Medicine King's Valley. Once they arrived, they finally felt at ease. A month of intense fighting, struggling between life and death, these people almost lost their hopes in the end. Afterwards, Mu Qian began conditioning their bodies with a variety of drugs. At the same time, their physical features have become surprisingly high. Even though they've just made their breakthrough to Martial and Spirit King earlier, fighting against a second-stage Martial or Spirit King is of no threat at all. Once they've restored their strength, recovering their best state is the top priority before going back at the Purple Moon Kingdom. Finally, the day of their return had arrived. Go! At the command of Mu Qian, they set out to return to the city. Wait! Wait for me! At this time, a striking youth wearing a white robe floats towards their direction. The young man rushed after them using all of his strength. Mu Qian was befuddled. What are you doing here? Once you're gone, what would I eat? I'll surely starve to death. Junimo harumphs. That's why I decided to come with you. You don't want your valley anymore. You're willing to give up your quiet life in seclusion. In order to eat delicious food, everything is nothing. I already wasted 10 years of my life, this time I will eat to my heart's content. Junimo is excited to his future days. Since I've met you, little girl, I found out that my knowledge and medicines are still lacking. In regards to that, please take care of me. Besides, your strength is still not on par with mine, you can't get rid of me. He smirked. Mu Yi suddenly felt his head throb. He never thought that the Medicine King would be so obsessed to hug his lord's thigh. If this news spread, it will surely scare someone out of their wits. Mu Qian Shik, right timing. I am lacking of a resident alchemist at my ghost doctor building. If you want to follow me, you must refine the medicines that I want and I'll provide you with delicious meals every day. No problem. That simple conversation seems to have scared Mu Yi silly. Asking for food for this kind of labor, isn't it too extreme? Leaving the Medicine King's Valley behind, while Mu Qian and the gang were on their way to the Purple Moon Kingdom, once again they were surrounded by a group of men in black. Mu Qian gracefully walked down from the carriage. Raising her brow, she asked. What do you want? A masked person who seems to be the leader walked in front. In his eyes an expression of dismay was seen. He said, "Did not think that the Medicine King would really cure you. This is the more reason why we cannot let you come back alive in the Purple Moon Kingdom." Mu Qian coldly said, "Ouyang second, this lord knew who you are. You don't have to continue this farce. I didn't think you'd recognize me right away." Ouyang Qi simply took off his mask. Since Mu Qian is destined to die today, even if they saw his face it doesn't matter anymore. Now that you've gone to your own grave, I'll gladly finish you off here and now. Shadows go. Finishing her words, Mu Jia's 99 shadows have made their shot. Boom! A loud explosion occurs. In the next moment, the 20 martial king that Ouyang Qi has brought were all besieged by Mu Qian's shadows. How is this possible? Ouyang Qi tried to avoid all sorts of weapon aiming at him, and then his sight went towards the Mu Jia's lord, her face briming with confidence. He finally realized that all of the 99 shadows have the strength of a martial and spirit king. If he remembered correctly, this group was only at martial and spirit master last month. 99 shadows composed of martial and spirit kings were being controlled by Mu Qianxi. Even if the whole Ouyang clan attack, defeating them would be impossible. Because of their 20 generals who reached the strength of martial king, became half of their power. Mu Qian coldly gave a command. "Kill them all. Leave no one alive." Mu Qian throws a ball. Shake. 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 Medicine King, Junemo broke free. Mu Qian throws another ball. Shake. 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 Medicine King, Junemo broke free. Mu Qian frowned. She thought for a moment and finally reached out for her trump card. Mu Qian throws AMASTERBT*LL. Shake. Shake. Shake, congratulations. Junemo was caught. Treating both eyes, blood was spurting out all over the place. With 99 martial and spirit kings coordinating perfectly in combat, coupled with a mysterious weapon, the whole army of the second old master, Ouyang Qi had brought will soon be wiped out. Cough! Ouyang Qi spit out another mouthful of blood. His face was pale. He shouted in anger. "Mu Qianxi, this time you've gone too far. This lord is only returning the favor." Mu Qian coldly rebuked. At this time, Ouyang Qi could see the outcome of this battle. In spite his injuries, he let out his spiritual energy and rushed forth towards Mu Qian's direction. "Even if I die today, I will take you with me." Just when he, OQ, is about a meter away from Mu Qian, they both perceive a soft meow. "In heaven and earth, only I am supreme." When this obnoxious slogan comes out, a white figure also flashed in between them. A kitten paw directly cuts off Ouyang Qi's neck. The blood spattered from Ouyang's neck. Upon having a clear look of the little beast, Ouyang Qi's eyes went wide. He remembered that this beast of the Mu Jia's lord was only a third rank before. Making a small change here, from spirit beast magical beast. How did it become a 7th rank magical beast in such a short time? Woody did indeed become a 7th ranked magical beast, so to speak. Aside from sleeping for so long, Woody also swallowed a lot of high-grade magical cores which Mu Qian bought. Finally, Woody's strength went leap and bounds, soaring from a 3rd rank magical beast to 7th ranked magical beast. Meow! Woody returned to Mu Qian's bosom. Pang! Ouyang's second old lord, Ouyang Qi, with his fatal wound, stopped breathing. Even in death, he's not willing to fall on the ground. Second master. Their backbone is dead and only a few of them remained. The Ouyang clan gathered their best ASSA. sins for this mission to wipe out Mu Jia's lord and shadows, yet in the end they can't even kill a single person. Mu Qian ordered. Take Ouyang Qi's corpse away, after returning to the Purple Moon Kingdom. We'll send this gift to the Ouyang's lord. Yes. How come more than a month had said but I haven't received any news from Ouyang Qi? Ouyang Ju frowned. His words had just fallen, yet a servant hurriedly went inside to report. Lord, Mu Jia's lord sent a gift. What did you say? Gift? As a result, Ouyang Ju quickly opened the box outside and immediately started to vomit blood. This is clearly a coffin, and inside is his second brother's corpse, Ouyang Qi's. Second brother. Ouyang Ju shouted sorrowfully. Mu Qian Shi. Mu Wushuang. Mu Jia. Fuck. Shit. Arg. Ouyang Ju raised his head and with eyes so red from hatred, cursed at the sky relentlessly. At the same time, the mood in the Mu Jia's residence is completely the opposite from the Ouyang clans. The lord of the house, Mu Qian Shi, who went to the Medicine King's Valley to seek treatment, had successfully returned and was healthy as an ox. Once again, the residence became lively. Upon returning, Mu Qian rushed towards Mu Wushuang's place first. At this time, Mu Qian spotted a familiar figure waiting for her as usual inside the bamboo forest. Mu Qian looked at the man akin to a warm jade, and happily run forth to his direction. With a smile she said. Little uncle, I finally found the ingredients I need to treat your eyes. After refining, we will immediately start detoxifying the poisons in your body. Mu Wushuang with a gentle tone said. No need to hurry, Shi'er just came back. You should have a good rest first. I have been blind for over 3 years, there's no harm on waiting for a little bit. Little uncle's patience sure is admirable, but I can't wait. Mu Qian rejected his offer. Shi'er, be obedient. Take a good rest first. Mu Wushuang naturally won't back out either. You traveled so far, I'm sure you're tired. In order to refine the cure successfully, your body needs to be in your best state, am I right? Mu Qian wanted to say that she's in good state enough to refine the cure successfully. But upon seeing the distressed look of her little uncle, she finally agreed. Fine. I will rest for tonight. But tomorrow, little uncle, get ready to be surprised. After saying what she wants, Mu Qian quietly returned to her room. Mu Qian slept for a whole night. The next morning, Mu Qian went directly to the pharmacy. Ling Zilin courteously said. Lord, just give your orders to this servant. Mu Qian nodded, and then she said in a clear voice. Shadows, don't let anyone come here until this lord come out. No one is allowed to disturb me either. Lastly, she also took out the small adorable cat from her spatial ring. Woody, be obedient outside, don't cause any trouble, okay? Meow. Woody bobbed its head. Mu Qian walked inside the refining area and started putting all her effort into refining the cure for her little uncle's eyes. Since she hasn't mastered the refining method for this world yet, she can only depend on her modern skills and knowledge. A series of tests were made. When the elixir was potent enough, she finally stopped. In a transparent bottle, Mu Qian gently poured the elixir inside. Upon opening the door to get out, Mu Qian only then did notice that it was already dark. After refining for a whole day, there is no trace of exhaustion on Mu Qian's face. She even looks more energetic than before. I'll go to the Wuyu courtyard. Mu Qian walks at a leisurely pace, although it is very late, but Mu Wushuang's room is still full of lights. Mu Qian gently knocked on the door. Mu Wushuang smiled, with a voice like coaxing a child. He said. Shi'er, hurry and come inside, you do not need to knock on the door. Mu Qian walked in, took out a GLA. bottle and laughed. Little uncle. I've successfully refined your antidote. A clear vial with a light blue liquid inside. TN-MP potion. Ors, Mu Wuxuang couldn't help but touch the vial. It was ice cold and very pretty to look at. He asked. This, take it directly. Mu Qian shook her head. No, it needs to be injected into little uncle's eyes for it to work. Mu Qian took out 2 items that looks like a syringe. She inserted the needle which quickly absorbs half of the vial's content. Looking at the sharp thing on Mu Qian's hand, which will soon penetrate Mu Wuxuang's eyes, a man in black who's hiding himself all the time couldn't resist but cover his master. Little master, what are the risks? He asked slowly. These days, the man is used to the little master's behavior. He even acknowledged that she isn't as incompetent as before and is very capable now. But sticking that thing inside the third master's eyes, isn't it extreme? Mu Qian is used to this man being protective towards her little uncle, she patiently explained. Relax. I won't inject this in his eye. But in his conjunctiva instead. This means that I won't hit his eye but the mucous membrane that covers the front of the eye and lines the inside of the eyelids instead. There would be no danger at all. Besides, regarding with my expertise in creating medicine, I'm 100% confident with its effects. If not, I wouldn't dare to use this in him in the first place. Stand down. Mu Wuxuang coldly said. Tian, poor guy, he's only doing his job. Ha. Apologies for my behavior. I'm only worried for third master, that's all. Questioning the little master is the same as questioning the third master. The man recognized his mistake and quickly disappeared in front of them. Mu Qian slowly went beside Mu Wuxuang. She reminded him. Little uncle, this potion will hurt a little bit when it hits your eye. You have to suffer a little bit. Mu Wuxuang let out a smile as gentle as the breeze. He said. I have Sheer beside me, what's there to be scared about? I haven't seen Sheer for 3 years already. I really want to see how you look like now. Then, better look forward to it. Mu Qian took the syringe filled with medicine and slowly injected its inside to Mu Wuxuang's eyes. Not literally. _3 angle, _ this chapter is filled with sweetness and love. I can't handle it. For you lovely readers who want a Civ release, Sorry, I can't do it right now. Maybe someday, but for those people who have the time, can you give a review and also comment on the page of this novel in Novel Updates? Link. I saw how low the rating is and actually I was disheartened. I admit the translations are lacking, but please bear with it for now. Also, if there is someone who wants to be an editor for this series, you can contact me here. That's all. Hope you enjoy reading. I seal in order for the elixir to completely work. Mu Qian did not use any anesthesia on Mu Wuxuang. During the whole process, Mu Wuxuang stayed calm. He didn't even blink once. After the right eye, Mu Qian quickly injected the half medicine to Mu Wuxuang's left eye. When both eyes was done, Mu Qian ordered Mu Wuxuang to close his eyes. In a breath of time, the effect of the medicine will show. Mu Wuxuang clenched his fist. In the back of his hand, white substances are violently surging from his veins. Little uncle. Mu Qian caught Mu Wuxuang's hands. She whispered. You'll be well soon. Those people who made you suffer, I will certainly make them pay 1,000 times. Mu Wuxuang felt an unbearable pain from his eyes. No matter how hard he suppressed the pain, in the end he couldn't help but shout. Arg! Piercing screams from Mu Wuxuang spread out. The white substance turned dark in his veins and currently protruding on his jade-like face, continuously expanding more and more as if it would explode at any second. After a long while, the dark color of his blood vessels began to return to normal. The pain lasted a quarter of an hour. Mu Qian knew how painful it was for Mu Wuxuang. If it was an ordinary man, he would definitely bite his tongue in just a span of 3 minutes. Luckily, little uncle survived. This proves how strong he is. Mu Qian gently released Mu Wuxuang's hand. She said, "Little uncle, slowly open your eyes." Mu Wuxuang's fan-like eyelashes flickered as he tried to slowly open his eyes. It only opened a little, but a terrifying aura suddenly broke out from his body. In the sky, the bright moon was obscured by the dark clouds. The whole purple moon kingdom was wrapped up by a terrible kind of force. Mu Qian froze. Mu Wuxuang's shadows were also frightened. "What's going on?" At this time, a black figure suddenly appeared. He coldly said, "I'll take third master away from the Mu Jia first. Little master should follow me." Mu Qian, recovered from her shock, said, "Listen to him. Go." She initially thought that it was just a course of action on little uncle's eyes, yet what's with that terrifying force that suddenly appears? This is the real strength that Mu Wuxuang exudes since childhood. Once exposed, it will cause a great uproar. They must leave the residence and find the reason after. Yes. Little master. They moved at their fastest speed to run outside the Purple Moon Kingdom. After a short while, they found themselves inside deserted woods. Suddenly, an ice-cold energy burst into the sky. In the Purple Moon Imperial Palace, only silence filled the area, as if they were in another SPCE. A burst of cold air started to swirl, the trees swayed wildly, and the wind blew crazily like it's the end of the world. Never did Mu Qian expect that treating little uncle's eyes would cause such a phenomenon. This is too unusual. Even Ah Ting, who was angry due to the interruption on his sleep, was surprised. He said in amazement, "What happened, Ah? Is there a big event? Such strong force." Mu Qian said, "I don't know what happened. This power exudes from little uncle's body. Your uncle is definitely not a human." Ah Ting said sternly. Mu Qian's mouth twitched. "You are the one who is not a human. This punk dares say her uncle isn't a human. If her biological relative isn't human, then what is she? I can't control his power. The only help I could give you is to use an array to protect this place. Don't let anyone get close, otherwise the consequences will be unimaginable." He hastily said to Mu Qian, "Quick! Let the dead cat consume the excess spiritual energy." Although most of the time Ah Ting is unreliable, she still believed in him this time. According to Ah Ting's direction, Mu Qian began to arrange the array. When the array was fully formed, her surrounding was hidden by a thick fog. If it wasn't for the horrible whirlpool of energy looming in the sky, she would think that there is nothing unusual happening here. Too many strange things keeps appearing one after another in the Purple Moon Kingdom. It gathered the attention of many strong cultivators, and even the emperor rushed towards the forest outside the capital. From the start, Mu Wuxuang has fallen into a coma. Mu Qian felt someone beside her had silently arrived. She glanced and asked, "Jiu Yi, what happened to little uncle?" Jiu Yi only spat 2 words. "He's all right." Mu Wuxuang was placed on the GRA. At this time his silky black hair already turned into silver. He seemed to wake up from a deep sleep, slowly opening his eyes. Mu Qian didn't think that Mu Wuxuang's eyes would also change color, turning into silver and purple. This pair of silver and purple eyes flowed with a myriad of cold light, filled with indifference and contempt. At the same time, Jiu Ye's icy blue eyes went deeper, keeping Mu Qian close to him just to be sure. In the next moment, when Mu Wuxuang opened his eyes again, the strange power that can shake the heaven and earth finally dissipated. Mu Wuxuang's one eye returned to its normal color, but the other one remained the same, silvery purple. Jiu Yi said in a low voice, "The seal isn't successfully solved yet." Mu Qian was startled. Seal. Sheer. A gentle voice came. Mu Qian felt a familiar ward gaze on her body. Little uncle. Are you all right? Mu Qian walked swiftly towards Mu Wuxuang, examining his eyes carefully. The toxin had been cleared. Aside from the wrong color of his one eye, everything else looks normal, unlike the previous one where his gaze is dim. This time his gaze is full of gentleness like usual. Mu Wuxuang spoke slowly. Sheer, I'm really all right. I let you be worried, my niece sure have grown up. His delicate face portraying an extreme tenderness. Sheer is really well behaved, elder brother will be very happy if he saw you now. Little uncle, changing the topic is useless. Tell me what happened earlier. In Mu Wuxuang's eyes, a hint of helplessness was seen. He spoke. Because of special reasons, my eyes were sealed by your grandfather. I didn't think that by curing my blindness, my seal would also be opened by Sheer's elixir. The seal has now broken, that's all, this is nothing to worry about. Mu Qian said. Little uncle, there is, Tian, means those self-assured wise men give themselves away by concealing or covering up the truth. If it wasn't for that big commotion earlier, she will be continuously fooled by him like a child kept in the dark. Sheer, you already tried your very best to treat my eyes. I certainly can handle other things myself. Mu Wuxuang said in a coaxing manner. He don't want to let this child be involved any further. This time, Ting also persuaded her. Ugly woman, listen to him. There are things that you can't involve for now. You are still too weak, I don't want to be buried with your stupidity. This youth is really unpleasant. You're the one who is more troublesome, make, Jiu Yi silently walking beside Mu Qian. Jiu Yi, hey. Mu Qian, Fuck. Jiu Yi. Mu Qian, what's wrong with you? Jiu Yi, I saw strange things coming from here. Mu Qian, so. Jiu Yi, I came here to see. Mu Qian, did you see enough? Jiu Yi looking at her from top to bottom. Jiu Yi, not enough. Mu Qian, Tian. In China, cursing someone often includes their relatives and such. Ha ha ha. You're tuning into the LoveLore Library YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.